Chapter 1569. The house was about to be finished, and the men who went to work could only have a few meals at her house. She would cook a big rooster for them as a last treat. In addition, Zhao Ping was pregnant, so she had to eat it sooner or later. It was better to kill it now so that the men who went to work could have a meal together. Okay, Ping, girl, if you can catch the big rooster, mother will cook it for you. Zhao Ping beamed with joy and said, Mother, I know you love me the most. I'll rest for a while and catch the rooster later. I'm so tired now. If it weren't for the stupid donkey in her house, she wouldn't be so tired. All right then, you can rest now. Do you want to drink some water? Mother will get it for you. Okay. Liang Jinxiao turned and went into the house. In addition to pouring a glass of water, she also brought out a stool so that she could continue washing clothes and have something to sit on. Zhao Ping took the water and gulped it down. After drinking it, she wiped her mouth and looked refreshed. Mother, who is this child? Zhao Ping glanced at a baby in the cradle and pointed at Tian and asked. Seeing that Zhao Ping was curious, Liang Jinxiao smiled and introduced, Ping, this is Yun's daughter, your little niece. You are her aunt. Zhao Ping frowned and looked very conflicted. After her lips trembled, Zhao Ping couldn't help but ask Liang Jinxiao, Mother, are you sure? This is Zhao Yun's daughter? Yes. Mother, how can Yun be pregnant and give birth to a child so quickly? Can't I give birth to a child so quickly? When I saw her last time, her belly was still flat. In the blink of an eye, her child is already so big? Zhao Ping's dumbfounded expression made Liang Jinxiao laugh uncontrollably. Pinger, who said that Yun gave birth to this child? This child was adopted by her. What's the point of raising a good-for-nothing? Zhao Yun is so stupid. Mother, tell me, why do other children need to be served with feces and urine? Liang Jinxiao pursed his lips and said, You can't say that, this child is very obedient. It's good for Yun to have a daughter. Zhao Ping snorted in disdain. If it were me, I wouldn't raise someone else's child. How nice would it be to have one of our own? Liang Jinxiao did not say anything more. He knew that Zhao Ping was a blabbermouth. Naturally, he would not reveal Tiantian's true identity. Pinger, you rest first. Mother will go wash the clothes. Zhao Ping waved her hand and said, Mother, go ahead. Okay. Zhao Ping sat on the stool to rest. At this moment, Tian woke up and stared at Zhao Ping with a pair of big, watery eyes. Looking at such a soft and tender child, Zhao Ping suddenly felt that it was very cute. She thought to herself that when she gave birth to a daughter, she would be just as cute. Her hands were itchy. Zhao Ping reached out to carry Tian, who was in the cradle. However, before Zhao Ping could go over, a big black dog suddenly rushed over and barked at her. Zhao Ping was so frightened that she took a few steps back. She took a closer look at the black dog that was barking at her. This black dog was Zhao Yun's little He. However, the current little He was different from the previous little He. The child now was much bigger and had become a big dog. Chapter 1570. Woof, 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 woof. Little Black's barks were fierce, and his voice sounded like that of a vicious dog. Seeing Little Black like this, Zhao Ping felt a chill in her heart, especially when she saw Little Black's sharp fangs. If she was bitten by Little Black, wouldn't she die from the pain? Most importantly, if one was bitten by a dog, it would be painful, but it was easy to get rabies. The person might go crazy, which was a much more serious situation. Therefore, under normal circumstances, no matter how brave a person was, they wouldn't dare to provoke those vicious dogs easily. If an accident happened, they wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. And the reason why Little Black was so fierce to Zhao Ping was because in Little Black's impression, Zhao Ping was a bad woman. Now, this bad woman wanted to attack Little Master. Zhao Yun wasn't around. As a dog, it had to protect little master's safety and not let little master be bullied by this bad woman. Zhao Ping took a few steps back and started cursing. You ungrateful bastard, don't you know who I am? It's fine if you bite others, but you even bite your own family. I'll ask Zhao Yun to skin you and make dog meat stew. Little Black understood Zhao Ping's words and barked even more fiercely at Zhao Ping. Woof, 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 woof. Zhao Ping was a little timid and didn't dare to look at Little Black directly. She shouted at Liang Jinxiao, Mother, look, this dog is so fierce to me. Hurry and chase it away. What's the point of keeping an ungrateful bastard? Liang Jinxiao sighed, feeling a little tired. Actually, Little Black was usually quite obedient and understood humans. Sometimes, when Little Black was asked to do something, Little Black would help. She didn't know why Little Hay treated Zhao Ping like this. Maybe it was because Zhao Ping didn't stay at old Zhao's house often after she got married. Liang Jinxiao walked up to Little Blackie and patted its head. She said to Little Blackie, all right, Little Blackie, stop calling. This family is not an outsider. Little Hay glanced at Liang Jinxiao and seemed to understand Liang Jinxiao's words. After a whimper, it retracted its fangs and stopped barking. However, Little Black stood guard in front of the cradle and did not allow Zhao Ping to come over, lest Zhao Ping hurt the little master. Zhao Ping was a little angry. She felt that Zhao Yun went too far and bullied her. Now, even Zhao Yun's dog was the same. They were all bullies. They had gone too far. The more Zhao Ping thought about it, the angrier she felt, but there was nothing she could do. Mother. Chase it away. It's a hindrance in our yard. Zhao Ping pointed at Little Hay and complained. Is it okay to let it sit? Ping, if you don't provoke it, it won't bite. Zhao Ping was a little unwilling. Mother, I just don't want to see this beast. Hurry up and make it go away. Who knows if it'll go crazy and continue barking at me later. Mother, if you don't chase this beast away, then I'll leave. Liang Jinxiao said helplessly, all right. Mother, tell me and I'll try. Little Hay. Can you go out and play for a while? Come back when it's time for dinner. Liang Jinxiao patted Little Hay's head and said in a negotiating tone. Woo-woo. Little Hay whimpered, but still sat there with no intention of leaving. Little Hay, you scared big sister Yun, just now. She's very scared now. Can't you just leave for a while? Chapter 1571. Liang Jinxiao looked at Little Hay and said to Zhao Ping, awkwardly, Ping, you saw it too. I can't order Little Hay around. If it doesn't leave, I can't do anything about it. I can only wait for Yun, to come back. Little Hay listens to his daughter. When Zhao Ping heard this, she frowned and looked displeased. This stinky dog. Mother, what's the point of keeping such an inhumane beast? I think it's better to kill it and eat it. Dog meat hot pot tastes very good. It can go well with father's wine. Zhao Ping snorted. Little Hay understood Zhao Ping's words and barked even more fiercely at Zhao Ping. Woof woof woof, woof woof woof, Little Hay bared his fangs. If it wasn't for the fact that he was afraid of causing trouble for his master by biting Zhao Ping, he would have already rushed up to bite Zhao Ping. He wouldn't have left Zhao Ping until now. When Zhao Ping saw that Little Hay was biting even more fiercely, she instantly became angry. She scolded Little Hay, you little beast, you're still pushing your luck, aren't you? You're shameless. Liang Jinxiao sighed, Ping, girl, it's just a beast. Don't be so calculative with it. Mother, it's not a matter of whether I'm calculative or not. Look at it, it's so infuriating. Mother, I have to teach it a lesson today. Otherwise, it will bark at me fiercely later. Beast, as long as you beat it until it's afraid, it will be obedient to you. As she spoke, Zhao Ping picked up a stone from the ground and threw it at Little Hay. Little Hay was quick-witted and hurriedly got up to dodge. Its pair of black eyes glared fiercely at Zhao Ping. Little bastard, you still know how to hide. Anyway, you can't hide no matter how you hide. Today, I will beat you until you are obedient. Zhao Ping's heart was stifled with anger. She felt that it was fine to be bullied by Zhao Yun, but she couldn't let Zhao Yun's dog bully her as well. Therefore, no matter what, he had to teach Little Black a lesson today. Taking care of Little Hay was a warning to Zhao Yun not to go too far. After all, one had to look at the owner before beating a dog. She had hit Little Hay, which was also a slap to Zhao Yun's face. Seeing that the stone couldn't hit Little Black, Zhao Ping picked up the hoe beside her. He waved his hoe and charged towards Blackie. Little Hay originally didn't intend to attack Zhao Ping, but now that Zhao Ping was treating him like this, there was no need for him to endure any longer. Thus, Little Hay cleverly dodged Zhao Ping's attack and directly rushed behind Zhao Ping, pouncing on Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping couldn't bear Little Hay's weight and directly fell to the ground. Ouch! A scream of agony was heard. They saw Zhao Ping lying on the ground and Little Hay lying on Zhao Ping's body. When Liang Jinxiao saw this, he was instantly frightened. Ping, a girl, Zhao Ping cried and shouted, "Mother, hurry and help me kick this bastard off. Mother, hurry, hurry." Hearing Zhao Ping's urging, Liang Jinxiao hurriedly took a step forward. "Little Hay, hurry and come down. Don't hurt her." Little Hay's pitch-black eyes glanced at Liang Jinxiao, but ignored Liang Jinxiao. He continued to bark and placed his paws on Zhao Ping's shoulders. "Mother, why aren't you hurriedly getting this bastard off?" Zhao Ping was very anxious, afraid that Little Hay would do something to her. She was fearless because she was angry just now, but now that Little Hay had knocked her down, she immediately became terrified. Liang Jinxiao was also anxious and didn't know what to do. "Ping, girl, Little Hay isn't coming down." Chapter 1572. Seeing that Zhao Ping's situation was indeed not optimistic, Liang Jinxiao stepped forward and wanted to pull Little Hay away. However, Little Hay's fangs were out and it seemed to warn her that if she went forward to help Zhao Ping, it would bite her. Liang Jinxiao was frightened by Little Hay and took a step back. "Ping, girl, no, Little Hay is very fierce." Zhao Ping was so scared that she cried, "Mother, if you don't help me get it off, I'll be in trouble." Liang Jinxiao stomped her feet anxiously. In this situation, helping might be worse than not helping. Little Hay looked like it could pounce on them and bite them at any time. "Ping, girl, mother." Little Hay was on Zhao Ping, and its two front claws scratched Zhao Ping's head. Zhao Ping's hair was suddenly messed up. This was just the beginning. Little Hay then peed on Zhao Ping's head. A pungent smell of urine poured into Zhao Ping's nose. Zhao Ping spat out a mouthful of saliva. She was disgusted. Pa, this little bastard actually dared to pee on my head. I'll skin it alive when I get back. Mother, why aren't you looking for help? Ask the family to help me." After being reminded by Zhao Ping, Liang Jinxiao realized that she had forgotten to call for help and hurriedly shouted in the courtyard. Jianghu had just taken the wooden basin to the river to wash clothes. The men from the first branch and the fourth branch were not at home. Her own man had gone to build a house. Now, only Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui were left in old Zhao's house. Feng Zhangxia heard Xian Zhonghu shouting and walked out of the house. When she saw Zhao Ping lying on the ground after being beaten by Little Hay, she was shocked and hurriedly took a few steps back. She was afraid that Little Hay would hurt her and did not dare to approach Liang Jinxiao. A few meters away, Feng Zhangxia said to Liang Jinxiao, "Oh, third sister-in-law, what's wrong? Why is Ping's dog lying on Ping's body?" At this critical moment, Liang Jinxiao did not have time to explain so much to Feng Zhangxia. She only called out to Feng Zhangxia, "Little He is angry. Eldest sister-in-law, quickly come over and help. Otherwise, it will be bad if Ping is bitten." Feng Zhangxia's eyes turned and glanced at little He, who was lying on Zhao Ping's body with its fangs bared. She felt a chill in her heart and could not help but tremble. She hurriedly said to Liang Jinxiao, "Third sister-in-law, it's not that I don't want to help you. This little He is so fierce. Who knows if I will be bitten by little He if I help? If I am bitten, it is not worth it. Don't tell me you are going to compensate me." Feng Zhangxia was not willing to do things that did not benefit her. Moreover, the situation of being bitten by a dog was very serious. She was not stupid and would not provoke a dog when it was angry. Liang Jinxiao looked at Feng Zhangxia anxiously. She could not go up to stop little He alone and was also very scared. "Ah. What should we do? Eldest sister-in-law, we can't just watch Ping be like this." Feng Zhangxia swallowed her saliva and said with a trembling voice, "There is no other way. Who asked your little He to be so fierce? Many people in the village do not dare to provoke it. Where is Yun? Where is Yun? Third sister-in-law, can't you just ask Yun to come over?" Liang Jinxiao frowned and said, "Yun went up the mountain. I don't think she will be back for a while." Chapter 1573. Speaking of Zhao Wenshui, he was the only man in the family. Who else could she turn to if not Zhao Wenshui? However, Zhao Wenshui was usually very lazy and would not help. Even if she asked Zhao Wenshui might not agree. Will second brother come to help? Liang Jinxiao murmured. Feng Zhangxia muttered, "Third sister-in-law, you should try." "How do you know if you don't try? Second brother is a man. He's better than us two women, right?" As the two of them were talking, Zhao Ping on the ground was miserably abused by little He. Zhao Ping's back clothes were scratched by little He's sharp claws, and there were several more wounds. Zhao Ping screamed in pain. "Mother, why don't you help me get rid of this damn dog? I'm dying. Mother, hurry up and help me." Liang Jinxiao had no choice but to shout into the second branch's room. "Second brother, second brother." Zhao Wenshui heard the shout and came out of the second branch's room slowly. He raised his eyebrows lazily and asked, "Third sister-in-law, why are you shouting?" "Second brother. Look, little He is lying on Ping's body and hurt Ping. Sister-in-law and I don't dare to go forward. Second brother, you're a man. Can you get little He off Ping? Zhao Wenshui's eyes fell on little He. Seeing little He's fierce look, his legs suddenly turned to jelly. He did not dare to go forward and drive little He away. Before Zhao Wenshui could refuse, Feng Zhangxia echoed, "Yes, second brother. We two women are afraid of dogs and don't dare to go up. As a man, you can definitely do it. You can't be afraid of dogs, right? Sigh, it's a pity that your elder brother isn't home. If he were, I would have asked him to chase her away." After hearing Feng Zhangxia's words, Zhao Wenshui knew that he would be a coward if he didn't chase little He away. The corner of his mouth couldn't help but twitch a few times. He felt that he shouldn't be seen as a coward. But when she saw Blackie's appearance, she was very scared. "Second brother, you're the only man in the family. I can only ask you to save our Ping. I'll definitely cook you a good meal later." As soon as Zhao Wenshui heard that there was delicious food, his mouth watered. He knew about the food in the third branch. In addition to many good dishes, there was also wine to drink. For the sake of this delicious meal and his pride as a man, he gritted his teeth and replied, "All right then, I'll try." Seeing that Zhao Wenshui agreed, Liang Jinxiao felt relieved. Zhao Wenshui found a wooden stick to defend himself and slowly approached little He. From a distance, he shouted at little He, "Little bastard, hurry up and get down, or I'll come over and break your legs." Little He looked up at Zhao Wenshui and made a series of whimpering sounds, as if it was very disdainful. Seeing that a dog was so arrogant in front of him, Zhao Wenshui felt a little uncomfortable in his heart. Could it be that the dog also thought that he was a coward and looked down on him, so it ignored his words? Feng Zhangxia called out, "Second brother, what's the use of shouting at it from so far away? This little bastard isn't afraid of people. Hurry up and take the stick and beat it down." Zhao Wenshui's legs trembled and he struggled to get closer to Little He. Little He opened its fangs slightly and barked at Zhao Wenshui a few times. Zhao Wenshui was so scared that he took a few steps back and didn't dare to go forward. Chapter 1574. This vicious dog was too fierce. It would be terrible if it bit him. Feng Zhangxia continued to urge him, "Second brother, hurry up. Don't just stand there. You're a big man. Can't you deal with a dog?" Zhao Wenshui felt that his dignity had been greatly insulted. He didn't know whether to go up or not. If he went up, he might be bitten by Little He. If he didn't go up, he would be called a coward by old Zhao's family. "Second brother, I beg you to hurry up and do it. My family's Ping girl has been tormented beyond recognition. She's even pregnant. What if she continues to be tormented?" Zhao Wenshui's legs trembled. He wiped the sweat on his forehead with his sleeve and slowly approached Little He. "Bastard, come down, come down." Zhao Wenshui waved the wooden stick a few times, but he didn't dare to get too close to Little He. Woof! 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 Little He barked a few times and looked at Zhao Wenshui with disdain. Zhao Wenshui felt that his dignity had been severely damaged. He couldn't live anymore. It was one thing for people to bully him, but now even a dog was bullying him. Wasn't it just because his wife was gone? Life was good now. Zhao Wenshui's heart was filled with anger. Suddenly, his courage grew. He took a step forward and swung the wooden stick at Little Black's body. Little He sensed the danger from Zhao Wenshui and quickly dodged the wooden stick in Zhao Wenshui's hand. However, he didn't want to let Zhao Ping go so easily. Before he got down from Zhao Ping, Little He bit hard on Zhao Ping's butt. Then they heard a heart-wrenching scream from old Zhao's courtyard. "Ah, mother, it hurts so much. The little bastard actually bit my butt." Mother hurts. Liang Jinxiao, who was watching from the side, was so anxious that he was about to cry. Little He's bite was really not light. He reckoned that the wound on Zhao Ping's buttocks was really deep. Injuries were secondary. The main thing was that being bitten by a dog was unusual. If he got sick, he would be in danger. Zhao Ping was not the same as before. She was not pregnant in the past, so it was fine to have some fun. But now that she was pregnant, what if she could not keep the baby in her belly? However, since she had already bitten him, there was nothing she could do even if she was anxious now. Little Black jumped down from Zhao Ping's body and rushed towards Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui saw that Little Black wanted to bite him, so he was so scared that he threw away the wooden stick in his hand. "Ah! Help! Help!" Zhao Wenshui screamed. Little He continued to chase after Zhao Wenshui. He had no intention of letting Zhao Wenshui go. Old Zhao's courtyard was suddenly in a panic. Zhao Wenshui ran behind Liang Jinxiao and pulled Liang Jinxiao, saying, "Third sister-in-law, look, you asked me to drive this little bastard away. Now he's chasing me. Hurry up and stop him. What if he bites me?" Zhao Wenshui was a big man. At this time, he did not care about his face. He was so scared that he started to cry loudly. His tear-streaked face was very funny. However, Little He did not care about Liang Jinxiao at all. He bit Zhao Wenshui's trousers and then pulled. Zhao Wenshui fell heavily to the ground. "Ouch!" Zhao Wenshui shouted. His chin hit the ground and he felt dizzy from the pain. Chapter 1575. After suffering this, Zhao Wenshui felt a wave of regret. Why did he come to join in the fun when he had nothing better to do? He could not lower himself to help Liang Jinxiao. Now, not only did he lose his dignity, he even lost more face. Later, others would definitely say that he was a man who could not even deal with a dog. What use was he in the future? This time, Zhao Wenshui was in so much pain that he did not have the strength to get up again. When Liang Jinxiao saw Zhao Wenshui like this, his heart thumped. He thought, it's over, it's over. What should I do now? It was fine that little He dealt with Zhao Ping, but would it also teach Zhao Wenshui a lesson? Later, Zhao Wenshui would definitely ask the third branch for an explanation. Second brother, how are you? Are you okay? Liang Jinxiao asked weakly, feeling very guilty. She knew very well in her heart that how could Zhao Wenshui be okay after falling like this? She was just asking out of formality. With a bitter face, Zhao Wenshui lifted his head from the ground and said incoherently, it hurts so much. Third sister-in-law, quickly pull me up. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Wenshui and saw that little He was still lying on Zhao Wenshui's body. He did not dare to take a step forward. Second brother. Little He is very fierce. I don't dare to come up. Liang Jinxiao said apologetically. Zhao Wenshui's heart sank. Liang Jinxiao did not dare to take little He away. Then, wouldn't he be tortured by little He like Zhao Ping? He had seen Zhao Ping's miserable state. He did not want to suffer like Zhao Ping. Third sister-in-law. I did this to help your Pinger. You have to be responsible for me. Zhao Wenshui said with snot and tears. He was still a little inarticulate. Liang Jinxiao frowned. He wanted to do something about it, but he couldn't. He was caught in a dilemma. Second brother. I'm really sorry. I'm pregnant. If little black bumps into me, I'm afraid I won't be able to keep the baby. Liang Jinxiao was not doing this for herself. She was also thinking about the child in her belly. She was already 40 years old, and it was very easy for her to have a miscarriage, so she had to be careful in everything she did. Now that little He was fierce, if he were to pull him down like quick blade Zhao Wenshui, the child would definitely be lost. Third sister-in-law. Why are you like this? Zhao Wenshui felt hopeless and cursed Liang Jinxiao at the same time. If he had known, he would not have meddled in other people's business. So what if Zhao Pinger was bitten to death by little He? He did not have to suffer. She was not his daughter. Now, he had to suffer. Second brother. I'm really sorry about this. I'll drink a few more times later. You can come to my house to eat as an apology. At this moment, Zhao Wenshui did not care about anything else. He just wanted to get away from little He's claws as soon as possible. Little He treated Zhao Wenshui well. He only scratched a few wounds on Zhao Wenshui's body and did not bite Zhao Wenshui. After a while, little He escaped from Zhao Wenshui's mountain. In the blink of an eye, he rushed out of old Zhao's house and went somewhere. The noisy scene in old Zhao's house suddenly stopped. Little He was very smart. He knew when to stop. He knew that he should leave quickly after cleaning up and wait for Zhao Yuner to come back to support him. He did not want to be skinned alive if he fell into the hands of old Zhao's family. It was not until little He left that Liang Jinxiao and Feng Zhangxia dared to help Zhao Pinger and Zhao Wenshui up. Chapter 1576. Feng Zhangxia pinched her nose in disgust and let go of the hand that was supporting Zhao Ping. She called out to Liang Jinxiao, third sister-in-law, you support Ping. I'll help second brother. Liang Jinxiao nodded and responded, okay, sister-in-law. Zhao Pinger was in too much pain from the fall. In addition, her butt was bitten and her back was scratched. Even with Liang Jinxiao supporting her, she could not stand up straight. Woo-woo. Mother. Zhao Ping continued to cry. She was in so much pain that she couldn't help but call out for her mother. Liang Jinxiao's heart ached when she saw that Zhao Ping Ping-er's body was stained with so much blood. No matter what, Zhao Ping was still her biological daughter. How many mothers could bear to see their biological daughter suffer like this? Thinking about it, little He was really ruthless. He was so heavy-handed. If Zhao Wenshui hadn't chased him away, perhaps Zhao Ping-er's life would have been gone. Ping-er, how are you feeling? Does it hurt? Liang Jinxiao took out a handkerchief and wiped Zhao Ping-er's face that was stained with urine and dust on the ground. Zhao Ping grimaced and cried, "It hurts, mother. It hurts so much." "Where does it hurt?" Liang Jinxiao hurriedly asked. "It hurts everywhere. Mother, that bastard is too ruthless. The flesh on my butt was almost bitten off." Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Ping-er's butt. She saw that Zhao Ping-er's clothes were torn where little He had bitten her butt. A piece of flesh seemed to have fallen off from the wound. It was a bloody mess and looked very terrifying. Liang Jinxiao's heart trembled as if the pain had been transferred to her body. "Ping-er, you've suffered. Mother will help you to lie down in the room. I'll get a doctor to take a look at you." Zhao Ping-er whimpered. Now that she had a headache and felt dizzy, she would let Liang Jinxiao arrange whatever Liang Jinxiao arranged. "Mother. Then hurry up. Otherwise, I'll lose my life," Liang Jinxiao hurriedly responded. Okay. Mother will go now. Rest in the room first. Mother will be there soon. Woo-woo. Zhao Ping-er whimpered a few times in agreement. It took Liang Jinxiao a Herculean effort to bring Zhao Ping-er back to the room. Liang Jinxiao's body. Liang Jinxiao's mother was Jinxiao's. Zhao Ping Jinxiao's mother. Zhao Ping-er suddenly grabbed Liang Jinxiao's hand and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Woo-woo. Mother, my stomach hurts." As she spoke, Zhao Ping-er covered her stomach with her other hand and looked like she was in pain. Liang Jinxiao's heart skipped a beat. Stomach hurts? Could it be that she had really hurt the child? What if she had a miscarriage? After all, this was Zhao Ping-er's first child and the family Qin's first grandchild. If she had a miscarriage, it would be a big deal. Ping-er. Liang Jinxiao was so scared that her lips trembled and she was speechless. She hurriedly checked Zhao Ping-er's lower body and saw blood flowing out. She immediately panicked. Ping-er. Don't scare your mother. Mother. My stomach hurts. Zhao Ping-er gritted her teeth and squeezed these words out of her mouth. Her forehead was covered with a layer of cold sweat. Zhao Ping-er's painful expression and the blood flowing out of Zhao Ping-er's lower body made Liang Jinxiao certain that Zhao Ping-er's child might really be miscarried this time. If her first child was miscarried easily, it would be difficult for her to have another child in the future. Chapter 1577. When Zhao Ping was divorced, she would have to return to the third branch. At that time, she would be together with Zhao Yun-er, and the two sisters would inevitably have conflicts. This was not the main point. If Zhao Ping-er stayed in her in-laws' house for a long time, the people in the village would definitely laugh at her. Thinking about it, she spent a lot of effort to marry Zhao Ping-er off. Wasn't it because she didn't want Zhao Ping-er to stay in her parents' house? For this reason, she even gave a lot of dowry. If Zhao Ping was divorced, it meant that all her previous efforts would be in vain. Faced with this situation, Liang Jinxiao was even more at a loss. Ping, girl, you have to hold on. Don't let anything happen to you. Mother, pain, woo. Zhao Ping-er cried and shouted. She was also very scared. Sister-in-law. Liang Jinxiao was at a loss and had to call Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia heard Liang Jinxiao's call. After helping Zhao Wenshui into the house, she hurried to the third branch's house. Third sister-in-law, what's wrong? Sister-in-law, look, Ping, girl is bleeding down there. What should we do? Feng Zhangxia looked at Zhao Ping's lower part. It seemed that there was indeed a lot of bleeding. Third sister-in-law, I'm afraid that Ping, a girl, will have a miscarriage. The child in her belly can't be saved. Sister-in-law, what should we do? Liang Jinxiao cried anxiously. While wiping his tears, he pulled Feng Zhangxia and asked. Feng Zhangxia comforted, third sister-in-law, calm down first and take care of Ping, girl. I'll call Dr. Sun and let Dr. Sun come over to see if the child in Ping, girl's belly can be saved. Liang Jinxiao nodded heavily. Okay, sister-in-law, I'll have to trouble you. Please make a trip. Feng Zhangxia waved her hand. Third sister-in-law, you don't have to be so polite with me. Hurry up and look after Ping. I'm going. As Feng Zhangxia spoke, she left the third branch's room and ran towards Dr. Sun's house. At this time, Dr. Sun was not having a good time at home. His children had caught him and reprimanded him for all the trouble he caused. He said that he was already so old, yet he was still embarrassing his grandchildren. Fortunately, they had already separated from each other. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the face to continue staying together. Compared to Ma Xiaofeng, old Madam's son was the mother of Dr. Sun's children. If Dr. Sun really married Ma Xiaofeng, wouldn't the money that he had accumulated from treating patients over the years be given to this mistress? Their children might not even get a share after Dr. Sun's death. His children even threatened that if Dr. Sun really dared to divorce old lady Sun and marry Ma Xiaofeng or other women, they, as his children, would not collect his corpse after he died. This was a Achilles heel for Dr. Sunday, who didn't rely on their children to make arrangements for their funeral after they died. If his children ignored him, would he not be able to enter the ground and rot on his own? It was fine if Dr. Sun was laughed at by the villagers after he went out, but he was also disliked by his children at home. He and old Madam's son were at loggerheads, and neither of them paid attention to the other. He didn't go out to treat patients for the past few days. He just stayed in the house and prepared to calm down for a few days. When Feng Zhangxia found Dr. Sun's house, old Madam's son was sitting in the courtyard and Dr. Sun was not there. Feng Zhangxia went up to old Madam's son and asked, Auntie Sun, is Dr. Sun at home? Something happened to my niece and she might have a miscarriage. I want Dr. Sun to go and see her quickly. Maybe the child can still be saved. Chapter 1578. However, seeing that Feng Zhangxia came to find Dr. Sun, she knew that it was an emergency. The miscarriage of the child in her belly was a human life, not a trivial matter like catching a cold. She still replied with some displeasure, he died in the house. Feng Zhangxia was shocked when she heard this. Her lips trembled as she asked, what? Auntie Sun, Dr. Sun is dead? This. Dr. Sun is dead. Who will the village look for in the future? The corner of old lady Sun's mouth twitched. She felt that Feng Zhangxia was really stupid. Why couldn't she understand what she meant? She didn't say that Dr. Sun was really dead. It was just a metaphor. He's not dead, he's not dead. He's in the house. You can go find him yourself. Feng Zhangxia was dumbfounded and muttered, but Auntie Sun, you just said that Dr. Sun died in the house. Old lady Sun looked at Feng Zhangxia as if she was an idiot and said, that's what I said. That damn old man hid in the house and didn't come out. People who didn't know would think that he died in the house. Only then did Feng Zhangxia understand that old lady Sun and Dr. Sun were throwing a tantrum. She had also heard about the matter between Dr. Sun and old lady Sunday. Ma Xiaofeng shamelessly seduced Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sun was already old, but he still fell for it. It was normal for old lady Sun to be angry. Feng Zhangxia comforted old lady Sun and said, it will be fine in a few days. Wasn't it because of what happened yesterday? I guess Dr. Sun is feeling uncomfortable. The corner of old lady Sun's mouth twitched and she cursed, he's feeling uncomfortable. I'm the one feeling uncomfortable. I didn't say anything. He hid in the house like a dead man. Feng Zhangxia smiled embarrassedly, Auntie, you've been wronged. Old lady Sun curled her lips. She was the one who had been wronged. With her previous temper, she would definitely skin Dr. Sun alive. He actually dared to go out and find another woman. How dare he? If it weren't for her children's persuasion, she would have already made a scene because she was afraid that she would really be divorced if she angered Dr. Sunday. I'm too lazy to argue with him. Old Madam Sun snorted softly. Feng Zhangxia didn't say anything more to Old Lady Sunday. Instead, she entered Dr. Sun's house and called for Dr. Sunday. Dr. Sun looked indifferent. At this time, how could he still be in the mood to treat other people? The life and death of other people had nothing to do with him. Feng Zhangxia was a little anxious when she saw Dr. Sun's attitude. She hurriedly begged, Dr. Sun, please come with me to have a look. It's a child after all. If we can't save him, he'll lose his life. Dr. Sun, if you can keep it, then it's a blessing. I'm not going. Dr. Sun waved his hand. He was still unwilling to go. If he went out and met other villagers, wouldn't he be laughed at again? Anyway, it was safer to stay at home than anywhere else. Feng Zhangxia stomped her feet anxiously. Dr. Sun, please go and take a look. You are the only doctor in our village. If you don't go, who else can we find? It was an emergency now. It would take a long time to send them to Yang City. The child would probably be lost. If you go and take a look, you will have a chance. Dr. Sun frowned. I say, why are you nagging? Aren't you annoying? Dr. Sun. It's not that I like to nag, it's that I have no choice. Just go. Chapter 1579. Only then did Feng Zhangxia let out a heavy sigh of relief. She smiled and said to Dr. Sun, Okay, I've really troubled you, Dr. Sunday AI, there's no other way. If it wasn't an emergency, I definitely wouldn't urge you to go in such a hurry. Dr. Sun responded faintly and came out of the house with a medicine box on his back. Old Lady Sun glanced at Dr. Sun faintly and sneered, Hee, you finally know to come out. I thought you died in the house. Dr. Sun glared at Old Lady Sun unhappily and said, What are you talking about, old woman? Are you so eager for me to die? Old Lady Sun sneered, I'm not eager. It's just that if I do such a shameful thing, I won't have the face to see anyone. I'll definitely find a wall and kill myself. Dr. Sun trembled with anger at Old Lady Sun's words. Damn old woman, I won't die. I'll anger you to death. If you don't die, then don't die. Anyway, it's a disgrace to live. Seeing that the two of them were about to quarrel, Feng Zhangxia was afraid of wasting time and quickly said, Okay, Andy Sun, Dr. Sun, you two should stop quarreling. You're an old married couple. Whatever happens, it's a matter between the two of you. Can't the two of you live together? If you quarrel, aren't you afraid of being laughed at by others? Let bygones be bygones. It's useless to think about quarreling now. After being persuaded by Feng Zhangxia, both old Madam Sun and Dr. Sun knew that even if they quarreled, it was not good to quarrel in front of outsiders. They would just quarrel in private. I'm too lazy to care about him. Hurry up and go to old Zhao's house to have a look. But damn old man, I'm warning you. If you don't come back quickly after you're done, don't blame me for being rude if you go to that little bitch again. The corner of Dr. Sun's mouth twitched. He was too lazy to say anything more to Old Lady Sunday. How would he dare to go to Ma Xiaofeng? If he was found out again, he would be stabbed in the back by the village. Old Zhao's eldest daughter-in-law, let's go. Okay. Feng Zhangxia responded. The two of them rushed to old Zhao's house one after another. When Dr. Sun arrived at old Zhao's house, Zhao Ping was already lying weakly on the bed, unable to move. Once Feng Zhangxia arrived at the courtyard, she hurriedly shouted, Third sister-in-law, I've called Dr. Sun over. Don't worry. As they spoke, the two of them entered the room of the third branch. Dr. Sun hurriedly went forward to check, while Liang Jinxiao watched nervously from the side. Dr. Sun. How is it? how is my daughter? Can she keep the baby in her belly? Dr. Sun frowned and ignored Liang Jinxiao. Instead, he took out a pill from the medical box and stuffed it into Zhao Ping's mouth. After taking the pill, Zhao Ping's lower body seemed to have stopped bleeding. Then Dr. Sun pulled out Zhao Ping's pulse. Finally, he withdrew his hand and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Fortunately, you called out in time. If you delayed for another quarter of an hour, the baby in your belly would have been gone. I'll write a prescription later and get you some medicine. Take a few meals and recuperate. I think the baby will be stable." Hearing Dr. Sun's words, the stone hanging in Liang Jinxiao's heart finally fell. Chapter 1580. Dr. Sun didn't say anything. In fact, he didn't want to come. If it weren't for Feng Zhangxia, he definitely wouldn't have come. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly took credit. "Sister-in-law, I helped you persuade Dr. Sun to come over." After much persuasion, Dr. Sun finally came over. Liang Jinxiao understood Feng Qingxia's meaning and said gratefully, "Yes, sister-in-law, this matter is also thanks to you. I must thank you properly later." With Liang Jinxiao's words, Feng Zhangxia was relieved. She knew that she could get some benefits from the third branch later, but she pretended to be polite and replied, "Oh, third sister-in-law, we are a family. Ping is also my niece. As her aunt, it is my duty to help. Sister-in-law, I still have to thank you. If I were alone, would have panicked and didn't know what to do." Feng Zhangxia patted Liang Jinxiao's hand and said, Okay, now Ping is the most important. Quickly go back and get the medicine and boil it for Ping to drink." Yes. Liang Jinxiao nodded heavily. He felt that it was fortunate that the child in Zhao Ping's belly could be saved. "Ping how are you now?" Liang Jinxiao came to Zhao Ping and asked Zhao Ping Zhao Ping was still a little weak, but the pain in her belly was much better now. Zhao Ping replied weakly, "Mother, it still hurts. Now my butt hurts badly." Liang Jinxiao thought that Zhao Ping's butt was bitten by little hay. The injury was not light, so it was natural that it would hurt now. So he hurriedly said to Dr. Sun, "Dr. Sun, you should also take a look at Ping's butt. It was bitten by a dog. I don't know if it's serious." When Dr. Sun heard that he was going to take a look at Zhao Ping's butt, he was immediately traumatized. Previously, all these things happened because he took a look at Qian Chuanxiu's butt injury. Now, no matter who asked him to take a look at her butt, as long as it was a woman, he would never agree. Otherwise, who knew what would happen? Dr. Sun's face was cold, and he asked Liang Jinxiao, "You, tell me, is it appropriate for your daughter to let me take a look at her butt?" Liang Jinxiao was stunned for a moment before she realized what Dr. Sun meant. Zhao Ping was a lady in her 20s. It was indeed inappropriate for a man to look at her butt. But if he didn't take a look at Zhao Ping's butt injury, he would take a look at her to take a look at her butt injury BTS butt. After being bitten by little hay, the situation should be very serious. It might even be life-threatening like Qian Chuanxiu. For a moment, Dr. T tests, but to take a look T take a look TTS it TT take a look T to let Teat sin this day and age, doctors were basically men. He had never heard of a female doctor. Otherwise, it would be good to let a female doctor take a look. If he didn't take a look at Dr. Sun, the other doctors he invited would definitely be men. Wasn't that the same thing? Feng Zhangxia, who was listening on the side, couldn't help but say, "Dr. Sun, you should take a look at Ping. At this moment, no one knows that Ping's butt was bitten by a dog except for us. If you secretly take a look, no one else will know." When Liang Jinxiao heard this, he felt that Feng Zhangxia's words were very reasonable. Although Zhao Ping would suffer a little, it was better than losing her life, right? Chapter 1581. Liang Jinxiao was willing, but Dr. Sun was not. "Sister, do you think that I haven't been taught a lesson by my family's old woman enough? What if I lose my life after I cure your daughter? Don't say anything. I've already done my best to help you save the child. I won't help you look for another doctor. Seeing Dr. Sun's angry and determined look, Liang Jinxiao knew that no matter how much he owed Dr. Sun would not listen to him. Dr. Sun hurriedly waved his hand and said, Okay, stop talking. There are thousands of doctors. It's not like you can't find someone else. Why do you have to harm me? Hurry up and pay for the medical expenses. I have to go back. Liang Jinxiao sighed and had no choice but to agree. The medical expenses this time were not cheap. It cost a total of 2 taels of silver. Liang Jinxiao counted the money she had on hand. There were only a few taels of silver left. She had to prepare for Zhao Yun's wedding later. She didn't know if it was enough to spend. In Zhao Ping's current situation, she naturally had to help pay for the 2 taels of silver. However, if the injury on Zhao Ping's buttocks was not treated, it would only get worse if it was delayed. She had to continue to find a doctor to take a look at Zhao Ping. Dr. Sun took a bottle of ointment and asked Liang Jinxiao to help Zhao Ping. As for the effect, Dr. Sun could not guarantee that it could cure the injury on Zhao Ping's buttocks. It was better than nothing. A dog bite was not a trivial matter, so it had to be dealt with properly. Many people ended up dying because of dog bites. After sending Dr. Sun away, Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping lying on the bed. She felt very distressed, but there was nothing she could do. Girl, it's a good thing that the child in your belly is safe. Later, find another doctor to take a look at the injury on your buttocks. It should be able to be cured. Zhao Ping gritted her teeth in pain and said to Liang Jinxiao fiercely, Mother, it's all because of Zhao Yun's damn dog that I'm so miserable. When Zhao Yun comes back, I must seek justice. I must make her skin that damn dog and stew it. Liang Jinxiao sighed. She knew that Zhao Yun treasured Little Black very much. It was impossible to let Zhao Yun kill Little Black. It was impossible. You can't bite the dog. You. Zhao Pinger's heart was filled with anger. How could she be willing to let Little Black go? Mother, no, I don't agree. In any case, I must skin that damn dog. Otherwise, I won't be able to swallow this anger. Girl, you know Yun's temper. Little Black is her dog. If she doesn't agree, then you can't touch it. Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said to Liang Jinxiao with an aggrieved face, Mother, you only know how to favor Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun's dog almost caused the child in my belly to die. It's fine if I don't get even with her, but can't I get even with a dog? Can a dog's life be compared to the child in my belly? Mother, look at how badly I've been injured by this damn dog. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Ping. Indeed, Zhao Ping was seriously injured. Little Black had gone too far this time. Sigh. Let's wait for Yun to come back and tell Yun. Let's see what Yun says. Chapter 1582. Alright. Ping, don't be angry. Lie down on the bed and rest for a while. Mother will boil some hot water and bring it over to wipe your body. At this time, Zhao Ping not only smelled of urine on her head, but there was also blood between her thighs. She had to wash it properly. Zhao Ping was very weak and did not have the energy to make a fuss. She could only let Liang Jinxiao go. She thought that she did not have to set up the breakfast stall anymore. She and Ma Xiaofeng were both injured. It was really a coincidence. Liang Jinxiao went out of the third branch's room, boiled some hot water, and cleaned up Zhao Ping. Then, he went to the second branch's room and checked on Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui's situation was not optimistic. He was seriously injured and was lying on the bed, crying out in pain. After being sent to the second branch's room, Zhao Wenshui had an idea. He felt that it was not bad luck that he was injured this time. Now, he could find an excuse to let Liang Jinxiao take care of him. He could not move in bed. Liang Jinxiao should at least take care of his food and drink. As long as he had food every day, it was okay for him to be injured. Zhao Wenshui was a little unhappy when he thought about how he asked Hu Chunhua for food and was scolded by Hu Chunhua. He did not care about Zhao Jing, and Zhao Tianyu. He let them eat behind Hu Chunhua and he ate alone in the third branch's room. The food in the third branch's room was good and he could enjoy it for a while. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Wenshui and asked, "Second brother, how are you?" "Third sister-in-law, are you blind? Can't you see how I am now?" "Ah." "Second brother, I'm sorry. Thanks to you today." "Third sister-in-law, what's the use of saying that? You have to be responsible for me." Liang Jinxiao was slightly stunned and said, "Second brother. I'll call Dr. Sun for you now. I forgot to let Dr. Sun take a look at your injury just now." Liang Jinxiao said with a tinge of guilt in her voice. "There's no need for that, but third sister-in-law, I'm injured and can't get out of bed. I need to recuperate in bed. You have to bring me some food every day, right?" Liang Jinxiao thought for a moment and hurriedly replied, "Brother Tingrui, that's not a problem. I'll send some over to you when I have my meal. But are you sure you don't want Dr. Sun to take a look at your injuries?" "It's fine. I wasn't bitten. It's just a scratch. I'll be fine after some rest," Zhao Wenshui said nonchalantly. The reason why Zhao Wenshui didn't want Dr. Sun to come over and take a look was that he was afraid that Dr. Sun would say that it was fine after taking a look at it. He would then apply some ointment on it and it would be fine in a few days. How could he freeload off the third branch's food for a while then? Liang Jinxiao sighed. "All right then, second brother. Have a good rest. If there's anything, just tell me." Got it, got it. Then I'll leave first." "Okay." Liang Jinxiao left the second branch's room and went to take care of Zhao Ping, again. On the other hand, Zhao Yun, picked mint from the mountain. During this season, there were many wildflowers on the mountain. Zhao Yun, picked a lot of wildflowers back and weaved 2 garlands, one on her head and the other on Daoda's head. After dressing up, the pink and tender Daoda became as delicate as a porcelain doll. Zhao Yun, stared at Daoda with satisfaction and said with a smile, "You look good. Mother, you look good with a garland too. You look like a fairy from heaven." Chapter 1583. Daoda shook his head. No, Daoda has never seen one before. But Daddy and Daoda said that fairies from the heavens are very beautiful. Since Mother is so beautiful right now, then you must be a fairy from the heavens. Zhao Yun was amused by Daoda's words. He was so sweet at such a young age, what would he be like when he grew up? Daoda should be able to grow into a graceful and elegant young man by the time he was 17 or 18 years old. Coupled with what he was saying to her now, his flirting skills should be very good. She would definitely be able to bring back a daughter-in-law without even doing anything herself. With that thought, Zhao Yun, felt that her precious son was becoming more and more promising. He was much better than Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng's flirting skills were probably not even half of Daodu's. Is that so? Is Mother really that beautiful? Daoda nodded heavily and said in a soft voice, "Of course, Mother. You are the most beautiful person Daodu has ever heard of." It was said that beauty was in the eye of the beholder. It turned out that in her son's eyes, she could also become a beauty. Zhao Yun was amused by Daodu and was in a very good mood. She held Daoda's hand and was about to go down the mountain when she suddenly saw the figure of a familiar plant on the mountain. Zhao Yun looked into the depths of the forest and saw a few red things among the sparse green leaves. It was a raspberry. If she wasn't wrong, it should be a raspberry. Zhao Yun said to Daodu, "Daodu, just stand here for a while. Mother will go in and take a look." Daodu raised his cute little face and asked Zhao Yun, "Mother, what are you going to see?" Zhao Ping touched Daodu's face and said, "You have to see if it's delicious. If it's delicious, I'll pick it for you to eat." "Oh, mother, then you go." "Yeah, yeah." Zhao Yun'er walked towards the depths of the forest. Fortunately, it was broad daylight, so there shouldn't be any danger. However, there were too many weeds on the ground, so it was easy to get scratched. Especially the thorns on the ground. They had thorns, and when they pierced into the flesh, it would be very painful. That was why Zhao Yun'er had asked Daodu to stand still and not come in. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth hurting Daodu. After spending a lot of effort, Zhao Yun'er finally walked in. When she got closer, she realized that it was indeed a raspberry. This season was the time when the raspberries were ripe. They covered the shed and grew on the stems. They were bright red and made people drool just by looking at them. Looking at the large patch of raspberries growing, they couldn't finish it no matter how many they picked. Zhao Yun'er hurriedly tore off a raspberry and stuffed it into her mouth. A sweet taste filled her entire mouth, along with the fragrance of the fruit. Zhao Yun'er remembered that when she was young, she followed behind her grandfather in the countryside. There were many raspberries on the back mountain of her grandfather's house. When the raspberries ripened, many children in the village would run up the mountain to pick them. At that time, children had too few snacks. Raspberries were sweet and sour, and were very tempting to children. However, because there were too many people picking the raspberries, each person could only eat a small portion during the ripening period. Although she could eat more fruits when she grew up, they were not as delicious as the raspberries in her memory. When she returned to the city, she didn't eat raspberries anymore. She didn't expect that she would eat raspberries again after she transmigrated. Perhaps it was God's blessing for her? No matter what, seeing so many raspberries made Zhao Yun'er very excited. Chapter 1584. Looking at so many raspberries, Zhao Yun'er was satisfied and carried the basket on her back. Then she came out of the woods and walked to Lil P with a handful of raspberries in her hand. "Here, Daodu, try it and see if it's delicious." Daodu looked at the bright red fruit and didn't know what a raspberry was. He looked up and asked Zhao Yun'er, "Mother, what is this? Is it delicious?" Zhao Yun'er patiently explained to Daodu, "This thing is called a raspberry. It's sweet and sour, and it's delicious. Try it." "Uh-huh." Daodu responded in a soft voice. Then, he grabbed a raspberry from Zhao Yun'er's hand and stuffed it into his mouth. After tasting the sweet taste, Daodu's small eyes narrowed in satisfaction. Then, he smiled at Zhao Yun'er and said, "Mother, it's really delicious. That's for sure. Here, Daodu, grab some for yourself and eat as we walk. Mother still has a lot of raspberries in her basket." "Okay." Daodu grabbed a handful of raspberries and followed Zhao Yun'er. The mother and son ate as they walked down the mountain. After picking so many raspberries, Zhao Yun'er guessed that the children would like to eat them. First, she went to give some raspberries to Mulan's children. The villagers didn't go to the mountains often, and there weren't any raspberries at the foot of the mountain, so they hadn't seen them before. When Zhao Yun'er brought them over, it was the first time the children had eaten them. Seeing the satisfied smiles on the children's faces as they ate the raspberries, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but smile. She was in a very good mood. Because she picked so many raspberries, even though she gave a lot to Mulan's family, she still had a lot left. These raspberries had to be eaten within a day or two. Otherwise, they would spoil easily like strawberries. It would be a waste if they couldn't eat them. However, if they couldn't finish them, Zhao Yun'er had a way to keep the raspberries. These raspberries were similar to blueberries and strawberries. They could be made into raspberry jam, which would taste better when eaten. Mulan saw that Zhao Yun'er brought something good over again and said embarrassedly, "Yun, look at you. You like to give anything good to us." "I'm so embarrassed," Zhao Yun'er smiled and said, "It's okay, it's just some wild fruit. It's not something good. Sister Mulan, you don't have to be so polite with me. It's..." Daodu's, it's not easy for you to come back. If Daodu likes it, Daodu. Daodu can eat. Daodu gave Mulan a sweet smile and said, Aunt Mulan, Daodu can't finish it alone. He wants to share it with brother San, and sister De Hua and Hua. It was rare for such a young child to share with others. Mulan stroked Daodu's head and said, Thank you, Daodu. You're welcome. Sister Mulan. It's good that the children like it. I'll pick some more when I go up the mountain. Mulan was embarrassed to ask Zhao Yun, to send more to their family, so she said to Zhao Yun, next time you go up the mountain, call me. Let's go up the mountain together and pick some more. Zhao Yun, agreed with a smile. Seeing the children eating happily, Mulan was also happy. After all, life was too hard. If you could eat good food every day, the children wouldn't care so much about eating raspberries. Chapter 1585. When Mulan saw the children eating raspberries, she suddenly remembered that she still had watermelons in her family's fields. In fact, fields in the countryside were relatively rare. Very few farmers were willing to use their fields to grow watermelons and the like. After all, these things were not as practical as food. It just so happened that they had just separated this year, so they could freely use their fields. In the beginning, Mulan and Zhao Yun sold breakfast together, so their income was good. They did not rely on the few plots of land at home to survive. Previously, the children had mentioned to her that they wanted to eat watermelons. Since it was the season to plant watermelons, Mulan asked Zhu Eru to plant some. They did not plant too much, only a little bit of land. They did not sell these watermelons, but it was enough for their family to eat. Hearing Mulan's words, Zhao Yun was a little expectant. Watermelons were the best fruit to quench thirst, especially in this kind of weather. It would probably be hot in half a month. They picked a watermelon from the ground and soaked it in the well water. The iced watermelon was very refreshing to eat. Zhao Yun, and Mulan were polite. She smiled and said, Okay, then we will be blessed. Of course. Yun, if you want to eat it, you can continue to plant it now. Our family planted spring crops. You can plant summer crops now. You can eat it in about August. Zhao Yun heard Mulan's words and felt that it was quite good. It was still very hot in August. It was just right to eat some watermelons. After the third branch separated from old Zhao's family, they were given a few acres of land. Later, he would tell Zhao Wenhua and ask Zhao Wenhua to plant some watermelons. Okay, then I will plant some later. If the children like it, I will plant it for them. Yeah, we don't have anything good to eat usually. The few fields that we were reluctant to part with in the past can be moved out now. Let's plant it for them. We can also get something to eat while we are at it. Okay. As the two of them were talking, Zhu Qiao walked to Mulan and pulled Mulan's hand. Second aunt, Qiao also wants to eat. Zhu Qiao pointed to the raspberries in the children's hands. Mulan smiled awkwardly. Zhu Qiao wanted it personally. As an aunt, if she did not give it to her, wouldn't it be too stingy? Thus, Mulan looked at the children and said to De Hua, Hua, and San can you share some for Qiao, San straightforwardly took out a handful of raspberries and handed them to Zhu Qiao. Come, Sister Qiao, you eat. Zhu Qiao took the raspberry from San hand and ate it happily. After a while, the RTO eat the raspberries, Qiao, 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 Qiao to eat to Qiao. Qiao, Zhu Qiao stretched out her hand in front of De Hua and Hua, indicating that De Hua and Hua should give her some. De Hua and Hua were naturally unhappy. Didn't San already give it to you? Qiao to eat, Qiao, I haven't eaten enough. You have to give me some. Zhu Qiao said matter-of-factly. Qiao's attitude made Qiao even more unhappy. Why should we give it to you? You have eaten and you still want to eat. Yeah, it's not like we didn't give it to you. Why do you always want to snatch our food? I won't give it to you anyway. I won't give it to you either. Chapter 1586. Mulan frowned. She couldn't do anything if the children didn't want to give it to Zhu Qiao. Moreover, it wasn't that she didn't give it to Zhu Qiao, but Zhu Qiao continued to ask for it after eating it. Mulan didn't like Zhu Qiao. This child liked to do things according to her temperament. In the end, it was the adults who didn't discipline her well. Zhu Qiao took it for granted that she would ask for things from others. She was just like Madame Qi. If she gave it to her this time, she would probably ask for more next time. So, she couldn't start this and continue to spoil her. So, Mulan said patiently, Qiao, didn't San give you some just now? They don't have much left now, so they can't give it to you anymore. Zhu Qiao glared at Mulan and complained unhappily, second aunt, you're so stingy. With that, Zhu Qiao ran away. Mulan was slightly stunned, and there was a touch of bitterness in the corner of her mouth. She actually said that she was stingy. Mulan didn't want to argue with a child. After all, children's words carried no harm. If she argued, it would be her fault. After sighing in her heart, Mulan decided not to take Zhu Qiao's words to heart. Zhao Yun watched from the side and was a little speechless. Sure enough, like the adults, like the children. Children were born with similar temperaments. They had to rely on the guidance and education of adults. People like Zhu Dainiu and Madame Qi taught Zhu Qiao to be a little willful. She thought that she could get whatever she wanted and didn't care if others were willing or not. She wasn't grateful for what others shared. Instead, she was insatiably greedy. This kind of child would be a scourge to society when she grew up. Although she still had a lot of raspberries in her basket, she didn't like to give them to such a brat. Zhu Qiao ran away from Mulan and went to Madame Qi. Mother, I want to eat the wild fruits that San and the others eat, but second aunt won't give it to me. Madame Qi finally finished weaving a basket. Now that she was taking a break to catch her breath, Zhu Qiao went to her and annoyed her again. If you don't want to eat it, then don't eat it. What's the use of telling me, you damned girl? Hearing the displeasure in Madame Qi's tone, Zhu Qiao pursed her lips. Mother, Qiao wants to eat. Go and talk to second aunt and get some for Qiao. After Madame Qi rested, she was unwilling to move. She waved her hand and said, if you can't get it, how can I get it? Zhu Qiao pouted even more and looked at her with dissatisfaction. Mother, you're not treating Qiao well. Qiao will tell father later. Father will definitely scold you. Although Zhu Qiao was young, she was able to observe the relationship between adults. Other things couldn't scare Madame Qi, but Zhu Dainiu was the only person she was afraid of. Madame Qi listened to Zhu Qiao's words. This damn child actually knew how to use Zhu Dainiu to scare her. However, Madame Qi was frightened. After all, Zhu Dainiu was very serious when he got angry. He might do something to her. If she was beaten up by Zhu Dainiu, she would lose a layer of skin. Madame Qi struggled in her heart and finally stood up. Okay. Mother will get it for you. Zhu Qiao nodded with satisfaction. Okay. Madame Qi went to Mulan and said to Mulan, second sister-in-law, my Qiao just wants some wild fruits to eat. Why don't you give it to her? You're Qiao's second aunt. Why are you so stingy? Chapter 1587. Madame Qi snorted. What do you mean by already giving a handful? Children like to eat, so can't you give them more? Stingy. Listening to Madame Qi's scolding, Zhao Yun felt that it was extremely ironic. She didn't know where Madame Qi got the cheek to say that Mulan was stingy. I say, sister-in-law Mulan, you're wrong. You said that Mulan is stingy, but why is it that every time I see Mulan giving your children food, I don't see you giving Mulan and the other children anything to eat? If we're talking about stinginess, I think that sister-in-law Mulan is far inferior to you. Moreover, even if Mulan wants to give, the things are in the hands of the children. If the children don't give, what can she do? Zhao Yun's words left Madame Qi speechless. Madame Qi thought about it. Indeed, she had never given Mulan's children anything. It was always Mulan's family who gave her children food. Madame Qi's gaze fell on the raspberries in Zhao Yun's basket, and she said to Zhao Yun, my second sister-in-law doesn't have them, but don't you have so many in your basket? What's wrong with giving some to my Qiao? How much can a child eat? Zhao Yun felt that Madame Qi was simply baffling. She wasn't related to Zhu Qiao, so why should she give her things to Zhu Qiao? Thinking about it, Zhu Qiao was a little better before, and her temperament wasn't so strange. During this period of time, she was probably spoiled by Zhu Dainiu and influenced by Madame Qi's behavior, so she became like this. After all, adults had a deep influence on children, and children would imitate adults' behavior and way of doing things. At this time, Madame Qi didn't reason with Zhu Qiao and discipline this child. Instead, she came to her and Mulan to say these things. This would only make Zhu Qiao feel that she was right to ask for things. Why should I give? Even if it's thrown away, that's my business. Unless I take the initiative to give it to them, no one will be left behind. Although your Qiao is a child and has nothing to do with me, if you want to eat it, go up the mountain and get it for her yourself. There are many of them on the mountain. When Madame Qi heard this, she gritted her teeth and said unhappily, if you don't want to give it to me, then don't give it to me. After saying that, he turned around and left in a huff. Zhu Qiao looked at Madame Qi anxiously. Qiao, you heard it yourself. Mother asked for it for you. If others don't give it to mother, there's nothing mother can do. Zhu Qiao pursed her lips. Thinking about the taste of raspberries, she felt a little indignant. Mother, didn't you say that we can pick raspberries to eat in the mountains? Why don't you go to the mountain and pick some for me too? Qiao, the mountain is dangerous. There are many man-eating monsters. If you go up there, you might even lose your life. It's not worth it for this little bit of food. But Qiao really wants to eat, I say, why don't you listen to me? You want to eat it, but I can't get it. I even asked for it for you just now. What can I do if they don't give it to me? Even if I ask your father, it's not unreasonable. All right, don't make a fuss in front of me. I still have to continue weaving baskets. Mother, why are you so annoying? Can't you see that your mother is busy? Boo-hoo, Zhu Qiao cried aggrievedly. Madame Qi was really at her wit's end. She could only say, don't cry. If you really want to eat it, wait for your father to come back and tell him to go up the mountain to pick it, okay? Chapter 1588. Seeing that Zhu Qiao was no longer making a fuss and pushing all the blame to Zhu Dainiu, Madame Qi heaved a heavy sigh of relief. If this child were to make a fuss again, she wouldn't know what to do. She was already tired to death every day and her head hurt badly. Now that Zhu Qiao was making a fuss, the pain was unbearable. Speaking of Zhu Dainiu, at this time the sun was very hot. After Zhu Dainiu woke up early to do some work, the sun was very strong in the fields. He was very hot, so he came back with a hoe. Mother, father is back. Zhu Qiao shouted in surprise. Madame Qi greeted Zhu Qiao, go and tell your father when he's back. Yes. Zhu Qiao quickly ran to Zhu Dainiu. What's wrong, Qiao? Zhu Dainiu rubbed Zhu Qiao's head and asked. Father, Qiao wants to eat something. It's on the mountain. Can you pick it for Qiao? Zhu Dainiu asked curiously, what is it? Tell me first, then I can agree. Zhu Qiao pointed to the raspberries in the children's hands and said, Father, it's that red fruit. It's delicious. It's on the mountain. Zhu Dainiu took a look and frowned. So it was something for children to eat. It looked like a snake fruit, Qiao, it's very dangerous on the mountain. Father won't go. If you want to eat something later, Father will go to town to buy it for you. For so many years, the villagers didn't dare to go into the mountain. If they encountered some wild beasts, no one would know if they were eaten, except for some hunters who had no choice but to go to the mountain to make a living. So Zhu Dania didn't dare. It wasn't worth it for children to eat. However, Zhu Qiao was unhappy. No, Father, I want to eat this. But Father can't get it. If something happens to Father in the mountain, who will feed the family in the future? Zhu Qiao didn't understand this. She threw a tantrum and said, No, I want to eat it. Qiao wants to eat this. Zhu Daniu was in a bit of a dilemma. Seeing Zhu Qiao making a fuss, he felt very uncomfortable. Madame Qi walked over and complained in front of Zhu Daniu, Daniu, look at Qiao, she's getting more and more out of hand. Just now, I asked Zhao Yun, and second sister-in-law for some, but I couldn't get any. I told her that the mountain was dangerous and she couldn't go, but she insisted on eating. Zhu Dania glanced at Zhu Qiao, then glanced at the basket on her back and sighed helplessly. Since I can't get it for free, I'll just spend some money to buy some. Therefore, Zhu Dania walked up to Zhao Yuner and asked politely, Miss Yuner, I see that you still have a lot of fruits left after carrying them. I don't think you can finish them. Why don't you see if you can sell some to my family? Qiao is really noisy. Zhao Yuner directly refused, I'm sorry, I have other uses for them if I can't finish them. I can't sell them to you. Miss Yuner. If you can't, sell less so that Qiao won't make a fuss anymore. Zhao Yuner curled her lips, just let the child make a fuss. It's not a problem. There must be other ways to make her stop crying, right? As an adult, don't you know how to discipline her? If you really want to buy it, I'll sell it to you for 200 copper coins per caddy. Half a caddy is 100 copper coins. Hearing so much money, Madame Qi hurriedly interrupted, Zhao Yuner, you're asking for too much. 200 copper coins per caddy. Even meat isn't as expensive as this. Chapter 1589. Madame Qi couldn't win against Zhao Yuner, so she tugged at Zhu Daniu's sleeve and said, Daniu, why buy this? It's 200 copper coins per caddy. We don't know how many caddies of meat we can buy with this. If we save this money, we can't buy any good food later. Qiao, don't let her do as she pleases. Zhu Dania thought about it and agreed. It was a few copper coins per caddy. It was still possible to buy a caddy for Zhu Qiao, However, it was only a few hundred copper coins. How could it be worth it? Then don't buy it. Zhu Dania said. Father. Qiao just wants to eat this. Originally, Zhu Dania wanted to go along with Zhu Qiao, Since it was so expensive and Zhu Qiao, was still making a fuss, Zhu Dania lectured Zhu Qiao, with a cold face, Qiao, I'll give you whatever you want. As long as I can give it, I'll give it to you. However, this thing is very expensive. Why do you still want to eat it? Isn't it better to buy a few more caddies of meat later? Zhu Qiao, pursed her lips. Seeing San, and Hua eating happily, she swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva. Zhu Qiao, wasn't stupid. She knew how to read people's expressions. If Zhu Dania didn't look good, he would definitely not agree to buy it for her. No matter how much she made a fuss, it would be useless. If she continued to make a fuss, she might even be beaten with a stick. Father. You said that you have to buy meat for Qiao, later. Zhu Qiao, emphasized. She was afraid that Zhu Dania would go back on his words. In the end, she wouldn't be able to eat the raspberries or the meat. Zhu Dania nodded and said, Okay, I'll definitely do what I promised Qiao, Madame Qi was excited when she heard that Zhu Dania wanted to buy meat. She hadn't eaten meat for a while and was dying of hunger. She didn't expect to be able to eat it this time with Zhu Qiao's help. Seeing that Zhu Dania didn't want to buy the raspberries, Zhao Yuner stopped arguing with him. She didn't stay at Mulan's house for long before leaving with Daodu. On the way back, Zhao Yuner put down the basket on her back and went to the third branch first. She would come back in the afternoon to prepare the remaining raspberries into raspberry jam. Xiao He also didn't know which corner it came out from. It came to Zhao Yun, and turned around. Zhao Yuner noticed something unusual about Little Black and asked, "Little Black, what's wrong?" Little Black barked a few times and wagged its tail even more vigorously, becoming even more clingy towards her. Zhao Yun didn't understand dog language, so she couldn't understand Blackie's words. Okay, Little Black, don't stick to me. I have to go to my mother's place," Zhao Yun said. However, Xiao He continued to pester Zhao Yuner, refusing to let Zhao Yuner leave. Zhao Yuner was very puzzled. Xiao He's behavior seemed to be because of something. "Little Black, let's go together. Tian is still at my mother's place. I don't know how Tian is now. I have to go and take a look." Seeing that it couldn't stop Zhao Yuner, Xiao He felt a little guilty and seemed disappointed. Zhao Yuner frowned and wondered if something had happened. Xiao He's reaction was strange. "Little Black, aren't you going?" Zhao Yuner called out. Xiao He lay on the ground and whimpered a few times, but didn't get up. Zhao Yuner sighed. "Okay, then you don't have to go. I'm going. I'll bring you some food later. You can stay at home and accompany Xiao Mao." Woo-woo. Xiao He continued to whimper. Zhao Yuner sighed and left with Daodu. She wondered if Xiao He was sick. Chapter 1590. It was not like in the 21st century, where dogs could be taken to a pet hospital. Zhao Yun was going to wait and see. Maybe Little He was fine. Little He was not an ordinary dog. It should not be so fragile. It was not until Zhao Yun brought Daoda to the third branch that she understood why Little He did not follow. It turned out that it knew that it had done something bad and was afraid of being punished, so it simply avoided it. Zhao Yun sighed helplessly. This Little He was really smarter than humans. Once they arrived at old Zhao's house, Feng Zhangxia saw Zhao Yun coming over. She pulled Zhao Yun aside and told her about what had happened in old Zhao's house just now. After Zhao Yun heard it, she was a little stunned. Her family's Little He was really brave. A dog that had not fully grown up actually beat up both Zhao Ping and Zhao Wenshui. However, Zhao Yun happened to hate these two people. It was good that Little He taught them a lesson this time. Let these two people suffer, otherwise, they would be so lively on normal days. At this time, Liang Jinxiao also came out of the house. She sighed in front of Zhao Yun and said a lot of things. The meaning of his words revealed that he was worried about Zhao Ping and blamed Little He. Zhao Yun was very clear about Little He. As long as it was not provoked, Little He would never bite people. Since it bit Zhao Ping it must be Zhao Ping who did something. So when Liang Jinxiao scolded Little He, Zhao Yun did not listen at all. "Yun, your family's Little He is very fierce. It is more dangerous now. You'd better buy a chain to tie it up. Otherwise, it will not be good if it hurts others. After all, Ping is one of us. If she's injured, no one will pursue the matter," Liang Jinxiao reminded. Zhao Yuner pursed her lips and faintly replied, "Mother, I think my Little Black is quite good. It hasn't bitten anyone for so long." Normally, the people bitten by Little Black were definitely not good people. This time, it's probably Sister Ping who provoked Little Black, right? Liang Jinxiao sighed. Actually, Ping didn't do anything. Xiao He is too hot-tempered. He's only targeting Ping. Zhao Yun snorted, "Mother, don't think that Little Black is just a dog, it's actually very smart. He understood everything you said." Ping didn't do anything. Did she say anything? Liang Jinxiao frowned. "I don't think so, no. Mother, that's impossible. Out of so many people, my little black didn't bite, but he insisted on Ping. I don't believe it. Seeing that Zhao Yun was completely protecting little black, and then thinking about it, Zhao Ping did say that she wanted to skin little black and eat dog meat, and Zhao Yun hit little black first. Little black resisted. Liang Jinxiao felt guilty and didn't say anything else. Whether little black was punished or not, it was still up to Zhao Ping to decide. Let Zhao Ping make a fuss. She was in the middle, so it wasn't easy for her to mediate this matter. At this moment, Zhao Ping was lying miserably in the third room. Zhao Yun didn't even look at her. Instead, she walked to the cradle, picked up Tian Tian from the cradle, and coaxed Tian Tian gently. Tian Tian, Zhao Yun called. Tian Tian giggled, revealing a sweet smile. The pink and tender baby melted Zhao Yun's heart. Zhao Yun hugged Tian Tian and swayed a few times. Chapter 1591. Mother, Zhao Ping was injured now and her body was very weak. It was very difficult for her to even speak loudly. Liang Jinxiao heard Zhao Ping's call and hurriedly responded. Ping, what's wrong? Mother, is Zhao Yun back? Hurry up and ask her to come in and give me a proper explanation. Liang Jinxiao frowned and hurriedly responded. Then, he said to Zhao Yun, do you want to go in and have a word with Ping? Zhao Yun felt that it was very ironic. Ask her for an explanation? What kind of explanation could she give? This matter was clearly Zhao Ping's fault. Was she supposed to apologize or compensate her? Or hand little black over to Zhao Ping for her to deal with? These were all impossible. Zhao Yun was a person who would protect her own. Since little black was her dog, no one could touch a single strand of little black's fur. Thus, Zhao Yun calmly replied to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, what do you want me to say to Sister Ping? Say. Liang Jinxiao stuttered at Zhao Yun's question. He didn't know how to answer Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun curled her lips and chuckled. Mother, since there's nothing to say, then I won't go in. Liang Jinxiao was a little anxious for a moment. Given Zhao Ping's condition, she couldn't get angry. The more Zhao Yun refused to go in and didn't say anything, the more Zhao Ping would make a fuss. It wouldn't be good if her injuries were to worsen. Zhao Yun ignored Liang Jinxiao and played with Tian Tian instead. Because the child was well nourished, the meat on her face was increasing day by day. She was as chubby as a doll. Seeing that Zhao Yun was taking a long time to come in, Zhao Ping impatiently urged her again. Liang Jinxiao sighed and entered the room of the third branch. Zhao Ping heard Liang Jinxiao's words and got up from the bed a little angrily. Mother, if that B*TCH doesn't come in, I'll go out and reason with her. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly stopped Zhao Ping. Ping, you're still seriously. Listen to me, let's forget about this matter. Anyway, we won't be able to reason with her. After all, little black is a dog. How can we blame a dog for what it did? Animals don't understand human nature. We can't argue with animals, right? Zhao Ping shook her head. Mother, you're wrong. Zhao Ping's dog doesn't understand human nature. It's even more shrewd than humans. It deliberately wanted to bite me and made me like this. Anyway, I have to skin that damn dog and eat its meat. But you're seriously injured now. Why don't you wait until you're better before talking to Yun about this matter? Why don't you rest well now? No. Mother, I have to go now. You see, isn't Zhao Yun too much? I'm so seriously injured that I almost couldn't keep the child in my belly. Is it possible that I'm worse than a dog? What right does she have to treat me like this? Even if she wants to reason with Li Zheng, it's her fault. Liang Jinxiao was very tired. No matter what she said or did now, it wouldn't please her two daughters. Since Zhao Ping was so insistent, Liang Jinxiao could only let Zhao Ping do as she pleased. All right. Little Ping even if you want to go out, you should be careful. Don't hurt yourself. Got it. Zhao Ping replied impatiently and then slowly walked out of the room. Chapter 1592. Zhao Yun UB*TCH, how can you bully people like this? Look at what your dog has done to me. Hurry up and hand over Little Black. I'm going to kill that damn dog of yours. Zhao Yun curled her lips and looked at Zhao Ping's angry face. What do you mean I'll hand it over or not? If you want to settle the score with Little Black, you can do it yourself. Zhao Yun replied indifferently and did not even look at Zhao Ping as she continued to play with Tian in her arms. Zhao Ping was almost angered to death by Zhao Yun This B*TCH said this because she was sure that she would not be able to find Little Black. Anyway, I don't care. Zhao Yun you have to hand over Little Black to me. Look at the injuries on my body, you have to compensate me properly, right? Including the child that I almost miscarried, you have to compensate me at least 10 taels of silver. Zhao Yun's lips curled up and the smile on her lips was mysterious and unfathomable, making people puzzled. 10 taels of silver? So much? 10 taels of silver was enough to live a good life in the countryside. This Zhao Ping was really demanding an exorbitant price. Zhao Ping said angrily, is 10 taels of silver a lot? Zhao Yun don't go too far. Is the child in my belly not worth 10 taels of silver? It's indeed not worth it. You're too much. Zhao Ping pointed at Zhao Yun and scolded her with gritted teeth. Sister Ping I didn't hurt you. If you want compensation, you can talk to my Little Black. If you want to argue, you can talk to my Little Black. I didn't ask Little Black to do it, so I won't be responsible for the money. After all, even if I sold Little Black, it wouldn't be worth so much money. Zhao Yun chuckled. She knew that Zhao Yun couldn't do anything to Little Black. Indeed, Zhao Ping didn't even know where Little Hay was. What could she do with Little Hay? This is too much. Mother, why don't you speak up for me? Zhao Ping looked at Liang Jinxiao for help. Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Yun's expression and did not dare to say anything. Seeing that Liang Jinxiao remained silent, Zhao Ping became even angrier. She was most afraid of dealing with unreasonable people. Now that Zhao Yun was being unreasonable with her, she had no choice. Zhao Ping hurriedly supported Liang Jinxiao as his body could not hold on any longer. Okay, Zhao Yun, just you wait. If I catch Little Black one day, I will definitely kill it. After saying that, with Liang Jinxiao's help, Zhao Ping returned to the third branch's room. Zhao Yun only felt that it was ridiculous. If Zhao Ping could really catch Little Black, she would not be tortured so miserably by Little Black. Although Little Black did hit her hard this time, there was no need to be soft-hearted when dealing with AB*TCH. Little Black really did it better than her. The third branch was annoyed. As long as Zhao Ping came back, Zhao Yun would be angered once. Her mother was fine in other aspects. The only bad thing was that she could not bear to part with Zhao Ping and cared too much about her. Otherwise, she should not care about a daughter like Zhao Ping Zhao Yun's eyes turned and thought about whether there was any way to make Liang Jinxiao be cruel to Zhao Ping and stop caring about Zhao Ping The way to make Liang Jinxiao be cruel was to make Liang Jinxiao feel bitterly disappointed and realize that he had raised an ingrate. Otherwise, it would all be in vain. Chapter 1593. With these worries in mind, Zhao Yun returned to her little thatched hut and used the afternoon to make raspberry jam. Raspberry jam wasn't difficult to make. She just added some white sugar, boiled it in a pot, and then mashed it. This way, she could eat it for a few more days. For a child like Daodu, it could be used as a snack. Zhao Yun remembered that she liked to spread this jam on bread when she was young. It was especially delicious. However, there were too few fruits in this era. Otherwise, it wouldn't be bad to make some strawberry jam or blueberry jam. After Zhao Yun finished, she took a small spoon and scooped up a spoonful of raspberry jam and brought it to Daodu's mouth. Here, try it. See if mother's jam is delicious. Daodu obediently took a bite. His face was full of satisfaction, and his eyes narrowed into crescents. Mother, it's very delicious. This way, it's sweeter than eating it directly. Zhao Yun smiled and patted Daodu's head. Of course. I added some white sugar, so it's naturally sweeter. Mother made a lot for Daodu. These are all in these small bottles. If Daodu wants to eat, make some for yourself. Okay, mother. Daodu understands. Then, can Daodu help you take care of little sister now? Mother, go and get some fertilizer for the vegetable garden. If something happens to little sister, come and call mother, okay? Daodu patted his chest. Mother, of course. Leave it to Daodu. Daodu will definitely take care of little sister. Zhao Yun touched Daodu's smooth face, and a satisfied smile appeared on her lips. It was good to have a sensible son. Tian had just been breastfed and was lying quietly in the cradle. Although she didn't fall asleep, she didn't disturb Zhao Yun either. Her well-behaved appearance made one's heart ache. Actually, Daodu didn't really need to take care of anything. It was Daodu who was there to prevent any accidents from happening. Before Zhao Yun left, Daodu brought out a small stool and sat in front of Tiantian's cradle. He ate the raspberry jam that Zhao Yun had just made and glanced at Tian from time to time. Zhao Yun was relieved. She went to the wooden shed and took out a bucket of manure. Then, she took out some manure to fertilize the vegetables in the vegetable garden. Unlike the 21st century, there were no organic fertilizers in ancient times, only human feces or animal feces. However, compared to the 21st century, the vegetables in ancient times tasted much more delicious after being fertilized with manure. It's just that the process of fertilizing makes people feel a little smelly. Zhao Yun endured the smell and hurriedly continued to fertilize. She fertilized all the vegetables in the small vegetable garden. Daodu looked after Tian like a warm little brother. Perhaps it was because she had slept for too long, but Tian lay in the cradle and stared at Daodu. She didn't feel sleepy at all. Daodu saw that Tian wasn't sleeping, so he teased her. What's wrong, Tian? Why aren't you sleeping today? Tiantian's mouth made a few sounds. Looking at Tiantian's cute little face, Daodu frowned. Tian couldn't speak, so he didn't know what Tian was trying to say. Little sister Tian, are you not feeling well? Blah blah, Tiantian's lips moved as if she wanted to say something. Chapter 1594. Blah, 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 Tian made this sound again, but her little mouth was open. Seeing Tian like this, Daodu felt more and more that Tian wanted to eat the raspberry jam in his hand. Daodu's delicate eyebrows slightly furrowed. She pondered whether Tian, such a small child, could eat jam. Looking at Tiantian's expectant eyes, and seeing how delicious the raspberry jam was, he felt a little embarrassed if he didn't give it to Tian. After all, good things should be shared with a little sister. This raspberry jam wasn't something that could be swallowed in one's mouth. If Tian ate it, it wouldn't be much of a problem. With this thought, Daodu picked up a spoon, dipped it in a little bit of raspberry jam, and put it to Tiantian's lips. The child smelled the fruity fragrance and seemed to like it very much. She quickly licked it with her little tongue and rolled the raspberry jam into her mouth. After the raspberry jam on the spoon was finished, Tian made a ya sound. Seeing Tian smile, Dao knew that Tian Tian really liked it. Tian Tian's little mouth continued to open, and she motioned for Dao to feed her more. Seeing Tian Tian's tender and cute appearance, Dao couldn't refuse. He could only get another spoonful of raspberry jam and slowly feed it to her. The child seemed to like the taste and felt that it tasted better than goat's milk. Dao fed it for a while, but Tian Tian didn't seem to have any intention of stopping. She still opened her mouth to eat. Dao sighed and educated Tian Tian, "Little sister Tian Tian, you've already eaten a lot. You can't eat anymore. Otherwise, if mother finds out, she'll definitely scold me. If you really want to eat, I'll secretly feed you next time when I have the chance." Tian Tian seemed to understand Dao's words. Her eyes revealed a trace of grievance, but she didn't continue to open her mouth to eat. Dao looked at Tian Tian with satisfaction and said to Tian Tian, "Little sister Tian Tian, you're so obedient." As he spoke, Dao touched Tian Tian's little face lovingly. Then, he leaned down and kissed Tian Tian's little face. The milky fragrance of the baby was mixed with the fruity aroma of raspberries. It was a very pleasant smell. "Little sister Tian Tian, you smell so good." "Yeah, Tian Tian replied. Although he didn't understand what Tian Tian was saying, Dao could roughly guess that Tian Tian was happy at this moment. Zhao Yun returned to Dao's side after applying the fertilizer. She put down the bucket of manure, but she smelled a little bad. She had to boil some water, take a good bath, and change her clothes. "Dao, did Tian Tian cause any trouble? Are you asleep?" Zhao Yuner asked casually. Dao shook his head. "No, mother, Tian Tian isn't asleep, but Tian Tian isn't making a fuss either. She's very obedient." Hearing Dao's words, Zhao Yun smiled and replied, "That's good." She glanced at the cradle. The little girl was indeed not asleep. She was looking around with her eyes wide open. She didn't know what she was looking at, but she looked very cute. When she caught a glimpse of something red at the corner of Tian Tian's mouth, Zhao Yun took a closer look. When she saw that it was raspberry jam, she asked Dao, "Did you feed your little sister raspberry jam?" Dao lowered his head, seemingly a little guilty. He stammered, "Mother, no." Dao was afraid that Zhao Yun would scold him if she found out. He didn't know whether the situation was serious or not, so he didn't dare to admit it. Chapter 1595. Zhao Yun squatted down and asked Dao, "Did you give the little sister jam or not?" Dao stammered and didn't answer. He lowered his head even more and didn't dare to look at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun patiently said, "Dao, you know that mother doesn't like children who lie, and she also doesn't like cowards who don't dare to admit their mistakes." After hearing Zhao Yun's words, Dao raised his head and said to Zhao Yun, with some grievance, "Mother. Dao saw that the little sister wanted to eat, so I gave her some jam." "Mother." Dao was wrong. "Mother, please don't be angry at Dao, okay?" Seeing Dao's wronged little face and the pleading and guilty look in his eyes, Zhao Yun couldn't bear to be angry at Dao. He was just a child, and it was fine as long as he knew his mistakes. Zhao Yun preferred to patiently teach her children the principles of how to behave, rather than using corporal punishment to teach her children. Thus, she softly said to Dao, "Since Dao knows his mistake, then mother will no longer blame Dao. This is the first time Dao has lied and made a mistake. Mother can forgive him, but you can't do it again." Yes. Dao nodded heavily, as if he was assuring Zhao Yun, "The little sister is so small, it's best not to give her jam." Zhao Yun warned. After all, a baby's intestines were different from an ordinary person's. Who knew if something bad would happen from eating jam? If Tian Tian had a stomachache, it wouldn't be a small matter, so it was best not to let Tian Tian eat it. The little child was very fragile, and Zhao Yun didn't want anything to happen later, lest she regretted it and worry. Dao responded, but pouted and said, "Mother, Tian Tian likes it very much." Are we really not giving it to Tian Tian? It shouldn't hurt to eat a little, right? Let's see if Tian Tian has a stomachache today. If she doesn't have a stomachache today, it means that she's fine. Next time, we can feed her less. But if she has a stomachache, it means that she can't eat. She has to grow up a little. Dao De felt that what Zhao Yuner said made a lot of sense. He hoped that Tian Tian wouldn't have a stomachache so that he could continue to feed Tian Tian some jam. Zhao Yun hadn't rested for long when she saw Mu Lianfeng coming back from the mountain with a heavy heart. Zhao Yuner called him a few times, but Mu Lianfeng did not respond. It was not until she patted Mu Lianfeng that Mu Lianfeng seemed to be pulled back to reality. It was obvious that something was wrong. Zhao Yuner asked, "What's wrong with Mu Lianfeng? Did something happen?" Mu Lianfeng hesitated, wondering if he should tell Zhao Yuner. But he was afraid that if he told Zhao Yuner, it would make Zhao Yuner worry and give Zhao Yuner more trouble. As if she had guessed Mu Lianfeng's thoughts, Zhao Yuner said softly, "Mu Lianfeng, if there's anything, you can tell me. There's no need to hide it from me. If you encounter any difficulties, the two of us can work together to find a solution. There's no need for you to carry everything alone. It's always better for two people to find a solution than one." After Zhao Yuner's persuasion, Mu Lianfeng told her about what happened on the mountain. The situation was indeed worrying. In the past 2 days, for some reason, the workers who went to work had inexplicably disappeared. They couldn't be found. Chapter 1596. They had not found the missing people, but more and more of them continued to disappear. The workers who had come to work were all at the bottom of the food chain. Although their lives were worthless in the eyes of the government, they were still human lives. Who knew what danger they had encountered and whether they were still alive? Mu Lianfeng was extremely worried because of this matter. The workers in the mountains had already begun to panic. They said that there were monsters in the mountains that specialized in catching people to eat. At night, there would be ghostly howls. Mu Lianfeng sent people to look for them, but unfortunately, the mountains were very deep. They failed to find anything, which made the panicking people even more frantic. Since they could not be found and had not returned, it was extremely likely that they were dead. Mu Lianfeng had Mo Yen count the number of people who had gone missing. There were over 12 people in total. The lives of over 12 people were no small matter. He had to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible, or he would not be able to explain himself. And the workers began to make a ruckus. Compared to making money, they cared more about their lives. The main problem they faced right now was that they had no idea where to start investigating. They had no idea how these people had disappeared. What was so powerful that it could take people away silently? They could not find them at all. In order to prevent more accidents from happening, Mu Lianfeng had Mo Yen arrange for the workers to not go out at night. They all had to stay in their tents. Basically, the people who had gone missing had gone out alone or in groups of 2 or 3. Zhao Yun became rather curious when she heard Mu Lianfeng's words. Why was that? Could it only mean that there was something in the mountains? There were many animals in the mountains, and many of them were cannibals. If some large animal had taken people away and eaten them, it could be explained. However, this meant that the workers in the mountains were in even greater danger. Who could deal with a beast if they came across one? Zhao Yun thought about how Mu Lianfeng went up and down the mountains every day. She could not help but worry for Mu Lianfeng. What would she do if something happened to Mu Lianfeng? It's less likely that someone did this. In my opinion, there might be some kind of animal in the mountains, said Zhao Yun. Animals? Mu Lianfeng raised his eyebrows and asked Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun nodded and replied, yes. For example, tigers, lions, jackals, wolves, and leopards. They are all very fierce and like to eat meat. Those people might have been eaten by them. When Mu Lianfeng heard Zhao Yun's words, he felt a chill in his heart. If it was really as Zhao Yun said, then wouldn't the disappearance of the dozen or so people be extremely miserable? Wouldn't they be eaten by those tigers and leopards until not even their bones were left? Actually, it's not very difficult to find out if it's these wolves, tigers, and leopards. There's no need to use human lives to test it. I do have a method. Zhao Yun'er blinked. After thinking of the method, her whole eyes shone brightly. It was very charming. Mu Lianfeng's curiosity was aroused by Zhao Yun'er. His Yun'er was so smart. Her brain was flexible and useful. She could think of any method very quickly. She was definitely the most intelligent woman he had ever seen. It's naturally very dangerous to test it on people, but these wolves, tigers, and leopards are for meat. Let's test it on a pig. Chapter 1597. After listening to Zhao Yun'er's idea, Mu Lianfeng felt that it was very good. Why didn't she think of it? Zhao Yun said it well, and the feasibility was very strong. It was worth it to use the pig as a primer without risking human lives. It would also be useful for him to find out whether it was done by wolves, tigers, leopards, or humans. If it was not done by humans, it would be easy to deal with. He just had to get rid of this strange thing. If it was done by humans, he had to continue to investigate, which was a little more troublesome. Yun-er, where are we going to buy a pig now? Mu Lianfeng asked. Pork was easier to buy, but it should be more difficult to buy a whole live pig. Zhao Yun thought for a while. There seemed to be several families in the village who raised pigs. It would just cost more to buy the whole pig. She would ask later, and she should be able to find the family who sold the pig. Leave the matter of buying the pig to me. You don't have to worry. Zhao Yun patted Mu Lianfeng's shoulder. Mu Lianfeng saw Zhao Yun'er's confident look, and his frowning brows finally relaxed. It was a great honor for him to have such a virtuous wife like Zhao Yun'er. With Zhao Yun around, Mu Lianfeng found that his heart calmed down a lot, and his previous anxiety disappeared. Zhao Yun'er saw Mu Lianfeng's tired face, so she asked Mu Lianfeng to take a rest quickly. She ran to the village for a walk and asked if there was a family who sold pigs. After asking in the village, although there were a lot of people who raised pigs, there was only one family who was willing to sell a big pig. After all, it was not cost-effective to sell a small pig. When it grew up and gained more weight, the price would be much higher. Zhao Yun had to go to the family who was willing to sell the pig. Coincidentally, this family belonged to Ma Xiaofeng's third uncle and third aunt. After Zhao Yun'er explained her intention to buy a pig, the third branch of the Ma family agreed, although they didn't understand the purpose of Zhao Yun'er buying a pig. After all, they also wanted to sell the pigs. Now that Zhao Yun'er came to buy the pigs, it saved them the trouble of calling the butcher over. As long as they could get the money, it was fine. As for the price of the pork, Zhao Yun'er didn't calculate with the third branch of the Ma family, but she also didn't let the third branch of the Ma family take advantage of her. A catty of pork was sold at the market for 13 to 14 copper coins per catty. Excluding the worthless bones and intestines, the whole pig was sold for 8 copper coins per catty. A pig weighed about 200 catties. In other words, it would cost less than 2 taels of silver to buy. The price was not very expensive. After discussing the price with the third branch of the Ma family, Zhao Yun'er said, "Okay, you go and prepare to weigh it. I'll go back and get the money. I'll come back later to collect the pig." Ma Xiaofeng's third aunt, Madame Xiang, smiled and said, Okay. Yun'er girl, go back and get the money. We'll help you weigh it. We definitely won't underweight it. That's good. Zhao Yun nodded and turned to walk in the direction of her home. After Zhao Yun'er walked away, Madame Xiang hurriedly urged her husband, Ma Wenhui, "I say, husband, quickly feed the pig something to eat." Ma Wenhui asked with a puzzled expression, "What should we feed the pig now? Aren't we going to sell it soon?" Chapter 1598. Ma Wenhui felt that Madame Xiang's words made sense, but he was used to being honest, so he frowned and said, "That's not good." We can't feed the pigs overnight when we sell them. Otherwise, when the butcher kills the pigs and cuts open their stomachs, he won't buy them anymore if he sees food in their stomachs. Although we don't know why Zhao Yun bought our pigs, what if she sells them to another butcher and they come to find trouble with us? Seeing Ma Wenhui's indecisiveness, Madame Xiang snorted and said, "What does that have to do with anything? Didn't we just buy our pigs today? So what if you say that you fed them in the morning? Can't you use your brain a little and think about it? You really don't know how to make money. Let's feed them 2 or 3 caddies of wild vegetable bran and earn a few dozen copper coins." Ma Wenhui could only let Madame Xiang do as she said. "All right, then hurry up and feed them. Otherwise, Zhao Yun won't be able to feed them when she comes." Madame Xiang poked Ma Wenhui and said, "Didn't I ask you to go over? Why are you ordering me around?" Ma Wenhui pursed his lips and said, "Why are you so lazy? Women do all the work in other families, but you like to order me around." Madame Xiang said carelessly, "It's my duty to order you around. After all, I came up with the idea of making money, not you." Ma Wenhui found that he couldn't argue with Madame Xiang. This woman had too many reasons. To put it bluntly, she was too lazy and pushed everything to him. Ma Wenhui was too lazy to argue with Madame Xiang. He was afraid of wasting time, so he hurriedly got some pig food and urged the pigs to eat quickly. However, what Ma Wenhui and Madame Xiang didn't know was that their conversation was heard by Mulan, who was passing by. Mulan couldn't help but curse in her heart. How could these two be so shameless? They specially cheated others and took advantage of them. Wasn't it just a few dozen copper coins? Was it necessary to do this? They didn't follow the rules at all. Thinking that Zhao Yun'er might be at a disadvantage, Mulan prepared to tell Zhao Yun'er about this matter. She left the house of the 3rd branch of the Ma family and walked in the direction of Zhao Yun'er's house. Before they arrived at Zhao Yun'er's house, Zhao Yun'er had already come out of the house, and the two of them happened to bump into each other. Zhao Yun'er smiled and greeted Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, are you here to look for me? What's the matter?" Mulan frowned and went to Zhao Yun'er to ask, "Yun'er, are you going to buy pigs from the 3rd branch of the Ma family?" Zhao Yun'er nodded and replied, "Yes, sister-in-law Mulan, how did you know?" Mulan sighed and told Zhao Yun'er what happened just now. Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but be a little angry when she heard it. Doing business was about honesty. How could the 3rd branch of the Ma family do it? It was obvious that they deliberately cheated her. Although she didn't care about a few dozen copper coins, she couldn't treat people like fools. Therefore, Zhao Yun'er wouldn't take this loss for nothing. So she said to Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, thank you for telling me this. I will argue with them when I go over later." "Okay, I was just afraid that you would be at a disadvantage. I just happened to hear it, so I couldn't help but tell you that there's no need to thank me. Yun'er, you can go. If there's nothing else, I'll go back first." "Okay, sister-in-law Mulan." After parting with Mulan, Zhao Yun'er angrily walked towards the 3rd branch of the Ma family. Chapter 1599. By the time Zhao Yun arrived at Ma Wenhui's house, Ma Wenhui had already finished feeding the pig. When he saw Zhao Yun coming over, his eyes were a little flustered. It was obvious that he had a guilty conscience. Fortunately, Mulan had told her in advance. Otherwise, she would not have been able to discover that Wu Wenhui was feeding the pig. Madame Xiang looked at her man in disappointment. He had done something bad, but he had a guilty conscience. Wasn't it easy for others to see through him? If only he was half as shrewd as her. When Zhao Yun arrived at her courtyard, Madame Xiang forced a smile and said to Zhao Yun, "Yun, lass, it's better to weigh my pig in front of you." Zhao Yun smiled coldly. Madame Xiang was puzzled by Zhao Yun's reaction. She frowned and asked, "Yun, lass, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you saying anything?" Zhao Yun stared at the pig and curled her lips. There was food stuck to the pig's mouth. "Auntie Wu, why did you feed the pig while I was getting the money?" Madame Xiang was stunned. She did not expect Zhao Yun to have such good eyesight. Zhao Yun actually discovered it. After being stunned for a moment, Madame Xiang felt that she still could not admit it. If she did, wouldn't she be slapping herself in the face? Her lips twitched stiffly. Yun, lass, what are you saying? When did I feed the pig? Madame Xiang poked Ma Wenhui as she spoke. Ma Wenhui had wanted to admit it out of guilt, but after being poked by Madame Xiang, he realized that Madame Xiang wanted him to deny it no matter what. Yes, Yun, lass, when did we feed the pig? Zhao Yun glanced at the couple and snorted coldly. No? Then what's with the food around the pig's mouth? This. Didn't I feed you this morning? That bastard doesn't know how to wipe his mouth, so he left it by his mouth. Madame Xiang pursed her lips and continued to quibble. Sure enough, talking to a thick-skinned person was like this. He completely refused to admit it even if you beat him to death. Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but feel a little disgusted. If it weren't for the fact that there were no other pig sellers in the village, he would definitely not buy Ma Wenhui's pigs. But I didn't see it when I came over just now. How come you have the time to take the money? And looking at the chaff, it's still moist. It should have just been stirred not long ago. How could it be this morning? Zhao Yun deliberately said this, with the intention of blasting Ma Wenhui and his wife. As expected, when Ma Wenhui and his wife heard this, their faces turned ugly. Even if he wanted to quibble, he had no reason to do so. Uncle Wu, Auntie Wu, doing business is all about honesty. Since you sold the pig to me, I'll give you as much as I deserve. But you can't cheat me like this. This meal of pig food will probably add 2 or 3 caddies to it, right? Madame Xiang smiled embarrassedly, not knowing how to answer. It would have been fine if she hadn't been caught, but now that Zhao Yun had caught her, she couldn't help but feel very awkward. Ma Wenhui immediately apologized. That. Yun, lass, this is our fault. If you can't do it, just deduct 2 or 3 caddies of money. Madame Xiang seemed a little unhappy. She tugged at Ma Wenhui and said, if you deduct 2 or 3 caddies, we'll lose a lot of money. Aya, this is our fault after all. What else is there to say? If they don't buy it, we won't be able to sell it at this price even if we find a butcher. Chapter 1600. Every year, when his family sold pigs, there would be a lot of trouble. Now that they could sell the whole pig to Zhao Yun, it was both profitable and worry-free for their family. Therefore, Madame Xiang did not say anything and let Ma Wenhui say whatever he wanted. Anyway, she could not bring herself to apologize to Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun saw that Ma Wenhui was honest and took the initiative to get rid of the extra 2 to 3 caddies of chaff. She nodded and said, okay, I'll continue to buy this pig. First, weigh it and deduct 3 caddies of weight. Okay. Ma Wenhui answered straightforwardly. The pig weighed 218 caddies in total, so the price was 215 caddies. Zhao Yun paid and took Ma Wenhui's pig back. It was the first time that Zhao Yun had contact with a live pig. She tied a rope to the pig's head and led it forward. However, she did not know if the pig's brain was stupid, but Zhao Yun had some difficulty pulling the pig. Sometimes, the pig would stop moving. Zhao Yun had to hit it a few times with a stick before the pig could move again. On the way, many people saw the pig in Zhao Yun's hands and covered their mouths to laugh. After tossing and turning for a long time, Zhao Yun finally brought the pig home and tied it in the wooden shed. Mu Lianfeng took a nap and just woke up. Seeing that Zhao Yun had brought the pig back, he walked to Zhao Yun and said to Zhao Yun, thank you for your hard work. Zhao Yun waved her hand and said, it's okay, it's not hard at all. Yun, it's good to have you. Mu Lianfeng sighed. Don't be so polite with me. Now that the pig is back, we can try bringing it up the mountain tonight. Mu Lianfeng nodded. It was better to try it as soon as possible and find out the truth as soon as possible. It was good for understanding the real situation. Okay, then I'll go tonight. Mu Lianfeng glanced at the pig he bought and said. Mu Lianfeng, let me accompany you tonight. Zhao Yuner was afraid that something would happen to Mu Lianfeng. Two people were better than one. He felt more at ease staying by Mu Lianfeng's side. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. Mu Lianfeng frowned and said, Yuner, it's very dangerous. You'd better be safe at home. Zhao Yuner insisted, it's because it's dangerous that I want to go with you. Mu Lianfeng, if we have something to do, we can't be separated. Mu Lianfeng sighed slightly. He knew that Zhao Yuner usually wouldn't change her mind easily. Since Zhao Yuner insisted, he would let Zhao Yuner go. However, he would never let Zhao Yuner get involved in dangerous things. If it really came, he would come down from the tree and deal with it alone. Okay, then let's go together. Okay. Zhao Yuner nodded heavily. Zhao Yuner didn't go to the third branch for dinner. She knew that Zhao Pinger must still be in the third branch, so she was very upset and didn't want to see that idiot again. However, the reality was just as Zhao Yuner expected. Zhao Pinger was tormented like this and couldn't go back. Liang Jinxiao asked someone to pass a message to the family Qin. During this time, Zhao Pinger would stay in the third branch until she recovered. After all, it was much better for Zhao Pinger to stay in the third branch than in the family Qin. No matter how good the family Qin was, it was still the in-laws' family. How could it be better than the maternal family's care? Chapter 1601. Zhao Yun was originally curious as to why Little Black had suddenly slipped away in the afternoon. Only now did he come back. Because of what Little Black had done to Zhao Ping, Little Black was probably afraid. He was afraid that Zhao Yun would come back and scold him, so he slipped away. Even his shadow could not be seen in the afternoon. Zhao Yun walked in front of Xiao He and said to Xiao He, what happened to you? Why are you injured so badly? Little Black wagged his tail and handed the pheasant in his mouth to Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun took the pheasant and looked at the wounds on Little Black's body. Her brows were tightly knitted together and she was extremely worried. Little Black stuck out his tongue and licked Zhao Yun's hand a few times. Zhao Yun's heart ached even more. Zhao Yun guessed that Little Black must have felt that he had made a mistake. In order to make up for his mistake, he ran up the mountain to get a pheasant back to please her. But who would have thought that he would get injured on a trip up the mountain? She looked at the wounds on Little Black's body. They were bitten very deeply. At this moment, blood was still flowing out. Little Black's fur was stained with blood. Just looking at it made her feel unbearably painful. Zhao Yun's heart clenched. She touched Little Black's head and could not help but scold, Little Black, you didn't do anything wrong. I won't blame you, so you don't have to be like this. Look at you, you're injured. Aren't you afraid that my heart will ache to death? As Zhao Yun spoke, she touched Little Black's head and motioned for Little Black to lie down. It was not easy for Little Black to come back in such a situation. Both of his legs were trembling. It looked like the situation was quite bad. Fortunately, she had prepared some Jinshuang medicine at home. It was Mu Lianfeng's medicine and it was very effective in stopping the bleeding. Zhao Yun hurriedly took out the Jinshuang medicine and poured it on Little Black's wound. After a while, the bleeding on Little Black's wound stopped. However, Xiao Hei's injuries were not light. He lay on the ground and soon closed his eyes. Daodu almost cried when he saw Little Black's expression. Mother, what's wrong with Little Black? Will Little Black die? Zhao Yun'er frowned. He had suffered such a serious injury and lost so much blood. Although the bleeding had stopped now, Zhao Yun'er was not sure whether Little He was all right or not. She could only pray that Little He was fine in her heart. Facing Daodu, Zhao Yun could only comfort him. Nyangqin's bleeding has been stopped by Little Black. There shouldn't be any problem. Let Little Black rest for a while. The tears in Daodu's eyes slowly receded. Mother, is that true? Will Little Black really be alright? Don't worry, with Mother here, I won't let anything happen to Little Black. Yes, yes. Daodu nodded heavily. Then, she squatted down and stroked Little Black's head a few times. Little Black, nothing must happen to you. Daodu still wants to play with you. Today, Nyangqin made raspberry sauce, it's delicious. When you're better, I'll let you eat it. Hearing Daodu's words, Zhao Yun's heart felt a little sour. After applying the medicine, Zhao Yun took out a white cloth and bandaged the bite wound on Little Black's leg. Looking at the big bite mark and how deep the bite was, it must have been a large animal. The possibility of it being a lion or tiger was higher. Little Black went up the mountain to hunt and encountered these animals. It was already very rare for him to be able to escape. Now, Zhao Yun could only pray that Little Black could survive this ordeal and that nothing bad would happen to him. Chapter 1602. After Little Hay was injured, Little Mao was actually more worried than Zhao Yun and Daodu. Little Hay was lying on the haystack in the wooden basin. Little Mao moved closer to Little Hay, stuck out its tongue, and licked Little Hay's body. Little Hay lifted its heavy eyelids and looked at Little Mao. Then, it heard Little Mao make a donkey sound, but it didn't know what Little Mao meant. However, there seemed to be some kind of communication between Little Hay and Little Mao. Seeing the sadness in Little Mao's eyes when Little Hay was injured, Zhao Yun couldn't help but sigh. There was indeed true love in the world. Even animals would help each other in times of need after interacting for a long time. After dinner, when the sky darkened and the sun was setting, Zhao Yun entrusted Daodu and Tian Tian to Liang Jinxiao. After all, Zhao Yun was worried about leaving the two children at home. As for her and Mu Lianfeng, they led the pig up the mountain. After Zhao Yun left, Little Mao actually followed her. Zhao Yun looked at Little Mao in confusion. Usually, Little Mao wouldn't follow her no matter what she did. After all, donkeys didn't have that habit, unlike dogs, who liked to follow their owners wherever they went. Little Mao, why are you following me? Go back quickly, I have to go up the mountain. Little Mao ignored Zhao Yun and continued to follow behind Zhao Yun. What was wrong with this donkey? It was the first time it was acting so strangely. Could it be that it knew that she was going to do something dangerous up the mountain, so it prepared to follow her? Little Mao, go back. The mountain road is not easy to walk on, it's inconvenient. You can accompany Little Hay when you go back. Little Mao lowered its head and barked a few times. Zhao Yun didn't understand what Little Mao meant, so after urging it a few times, Little Mao followed behind her. Zhao Yun was a little helpless, so she could only let Little Mao follow her. When they went up the mountain, Mu Lianfeng tied the pig to a flat ground outside the tent. It was a little far from the tent and there was no light. After that, Zhao Yun asked Little Mao to hide further away, in case the pig didn't attract the wild animals, but Little Mao did. After preparing these, Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun went up the tree and waited quietly. Nothing happened during the night, they suddenly heard a tiger's roar. Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng were immediately alert. Was it a tiger? Last time, they had encountered a tiger. Could it be that this time, it was another tiger in the mountains that was eating people? Both of their expressions immediately became heavy as they stared at the direction where the tiger roar came from. After waiting, Little Hay was haze, a tiger, a tiger, a tiger, a tiger, a tiger. Zhao Yun held Mu Lianfeng's hand tightly. She was a little scared. That tiger's roar was frightening. The danger when they encountered the tiger last time was still vivid in their minds. Thinking back, they couldn't help but feel a little scared. When the movement in the grass became more intense, they saw a white tiger come out of the grass. Zhao Yun thought she saw wrongly. It was actually a white tiger. Compared to yellow tigers, white tigers were much more precious and were rarely seen under normal circumstances. With the bright moon in the sky, they could see it more clearly. This white tiger's physique was bigger than the tiger they encountered before. It also looked more powerful, but it also meant that it was more dangerous. It wasn't as easy to deal with as the tiger they encountered before. Chapter 1603. That ferocious appearance made people who saw it uncontrollably tremble in fear, and waves of chill rose from the bottom of their hearts. When people faced dangerous animals, they would be like this. Even if they tried their best to control themselves, they would still be afraid. Mu Lianfeng wanted to make a move, but Zhao Yun pulled him back. "What do you want to do? Kill that tiger?" Zhao Yun whispered into Mu Lianfeng's ear. Mu Lianfeng hesitated for a moment, then nodded and said, If we don't seize the opportunity to kill it today, I'm afraid we won't have another chance in the future." Mu Lianfeng voiced out the concerns in his heart. This time, the white tiger escaped, and it might not be so easy to lure it out again. If the white tiger disappeared for a while and didn't appear again, who knew how many lives would be lost when everyone relaxed their vigilance? Mu Lianfeng didn't dare to gamble with human lives again. Zhao Yun also didn't dare to gamble with Mu Lianfeng's life. It was already not easy to kill the white tiger last time and escape danger. This time, they might not be so lucky. Mu Lianfeng, the white tiger this time is more dangerous than the tiger last time. "Are you sure you can deal with it?" Zhao Yun said with a frown. She was still a little worried in her heart. The two of them looked at each other. When their eyes met, Mu Lianfeng's gaze immediately became much gentler. His scorching eyes stared at Zhao Yun, then he planted a kiss on Zhao Yun's forehead, and said softly, "Yun, if I don't go to hell, who will? Since His Majesty handed this matter to me, then I must take responsibility. If a few more lives are sacrificed, I'm afraid I won't be able to explain it to His Majesty. So this time, we can only eliminate all future troubles. This white tiger must be dealt with, and we can't let it continue to hurt people." After listening to Mu Lianfeng's words, Zhao Yun knew that Mu Lianfeng had his reasons for Mu Lianfeng. She was speaking from her own point of view. She did not want Mu Lianfeng to take risks out of selfishness. However, Mu Lianfeng put himself in a righteous position for the safety of others. The reason why she liked Mu Lianfeng, wasn't it because she liked Mu Lianfeng's awe-inspiring righteousness? Zhao Yun hesitated for a moment before nodding in agreement with Mu Lianfeng. She reminded him, "Be careful." "All right." Mu Lianfeng gently went down from the tree and slowly walked towards the white tiger. The white tiger originally wanted to bite the pig, but after hearing a trace of movement, it immediately became vigilant. In the dark night, the tiger's eyes shone brightly. When Mu Lianfeng approached the white tiger, he tried to lower his voice as much as possible so as not to alarm the white tiger. Unfortunately, this beast was very shrewd. It stared vigilantly in the direction Mu Lianfeng went. With every step Mu Lianfeng took, his back was covered in cold sweat. Zhao Yun, who was hiding in the tree, felt her heart tighten. She was afraid that the white tiger would become agitated and directly beat Mu Lianfeng to the ground. Mu Lianfeng felt that he had to end the battle quickly and take down the white tiger as soon as possible. If he waited for the white tiger to react, it would either run away or pounce on him. At that time, he would be in a disadvantageous position and his life might be in danger. Pulling out a dagger from his sleeve, Mu Lianfeng suddenly rushed out. The white tiger noticed Mu Lianfeng's movements. It let out a deafening roar again, shaking people's hearts with lingering fear. The king of the forest was indeed the king of the forest. Even a roar could frighten people. Mu Lianfeng's body could not help but tremble. However, he did not withdraw his dagger and continued to stab the white tiger. Chapter 1604. Mu Lianfeng's dagger pierced into the white tiger's body. Originally, Mu Lianfeng wanted to hit the white tiger's head directly, just like when he killed the tiger before. He wanted to kill the white tiger with a fatal blow in the middle of its head. But because the white tiger discovered his tracks in advance, It dodged when he approached. Mu Lianfeng's dagger missed its target and fell on the white tiger's back. However, the pain from the dagger still made the white tiger restless. Mu Lianfeng couldn't pull out the dagger that he had inserted. And the white tiger's claws fiercely swung towards Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng knew that things were not good, but he couldn't dodge in time. The white tiger's claws fell heavily on his shoulder. Mu Lianfeng was in so much pain that he couldn't breathe. His whole body was also slapped away by the white tiger. Wretch, Mu Lianfeng felt a mouthful of blood in his chest and spat it out. The white tiger's strength was not small. After he was hit by its claws, it was more serious than if he was hit by a palm strike from a martial artist. After falling heavily on the ground, Mu Lianfeng's body hurt as if it was falling apart. Zhao Yun saw the situation and was as anxious as an ant on a hot pan. She wanted to quickly rush down from the tree. Mu Lianfeng, however, held his breath and shouted to Zhao Yun, it's dangerous, don't come over. Zhao Yun saw that the injured white tiger was angry. She glared at Mu Lianfeng fiercely, as if she wanted to tear Mu Lianfeng apart. Now that Mu Lianfeng was on the ground, he didn't even have the strength to get up. If she didn't go down, wouldn't Mu Lianfeng be bitten by the white tiger and lose his life? If she went down, then there was still a chance. Zhao Yun didn't want to accept her fate so easily. It wasn't easy to be together with Mu Lianfeng. How could she be willing to let Mu Lianfeng lose his life? Ignoring Mu Lianfeng's attempt to stop her, Zhao Yun climbed down from the tree. She had a long knife in her hand. She could only use it to defend herself. When Mu Lianfeng saw Zhao Yun coming down, his brows were tightly knitted together. With every step Zhao Yun took, his frown deepened. Zhao Yun moved to Mu Lianfeng's side and looked at the white tiger vigilantly. White tiger was probably seriously injured. It first licked its wounds, then its sharp eyes stared at Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng. Their originally stopped steps slowly moved towards Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng. Yun, hurry up and leave. It's not too late. When Zhao Yun got close to Mu Lianfeng pushed Zhao Yun back, indicating for Zhao Yun to leave. I'm not leaving. Zhao Yun pulled Mu Lianfeng stubbornly, trying to pull Mu Lianfeng up from the ground. Mu Lianfeng gently whispered into Zhao Yun's ear, Yun, be good and leave quickly. It's okay if something happens to me, but if something happens to you, who will take care of Daodu in the future? Who said it's okay if something happens to you? You still have to take care of Daodu and me. You didn't take responsibility for the past few years. Don't tell me you don't want to take responsibility as a father and a husband in the future. So Mu Lianfeng, I won't let anything happen to you, absolutely not. Even if there's danger, we'll face it together. I'm your wife, so I should know what it means to live and die together. Mu Lianfeng sighed. He was helpless against Zhao Yun's stubbornness. However, this white tiger was very ferocious. If Zhao Yun came again, he could have sacrificed himself, but now he might have to drag Zhao Yun along. Chapter 1605. Zhao Yun stared at the white tiger, and there seemed to be a raging fire burning between her and the tiger. The white tiger bared its fangs. Because it had suffered at the hands of Mu Lianfeng and was injured, it was more or less afraid of Mu Lianfeng. With every step the white tiger took, there was the sound of branches on the ground being trampled. Mu Lianfeng quickly protected Zhao Yun behind him. If the white tiger really wanted to attack someone, it would attack him first, not Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun looked up at Mu Lianfeng's side profile. This man would always think of her first at all times and protect her so that she would not be in danger. Roar! The white tiger roared again and got closer. At this point, it was useless to be afraid. Zhao Yun held a knife in her hand. When she saw Mu Lianfeng standing in front of her, she handed it to Mu Lianfeng. Come, use it for self-defense. If this beast really catches up to it, give it another stab. Okay. Mu Lianfeng took the knife from Zhao Yun's hand. He was not as proficient in using a knife as a dagger, and he was not sure if he could hit the white tiger's vital points in one go. If he failed this time and angered the white tiger again, the white tiger would not be like it was now. It would enter a berserk mode. Roar. The white tiger seemed to be sure that Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun were not as good as it. It jumped and attacked Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun. Mu Lianfeng swung the knife in his hand, but the white tiger's body was unusually agile. It easily avoided Mu Lianfeng's attack. Instead, its front paw directly pushed Mu Lianfeng to the ground. Zhao Yun was also knocked out and fell to the ground. She struggled to support her body and finally fell to the ground. He saw Mu Lianfeng being pressed under the white tiger's body. The white tiger's fangs were wide open, and it could eat Mu Lianfeng if it lowered its head. Zhao Yun couldn't wait to rush over and push white tiger away, but she didn't even have the strength to get up. He could only lie on the ground and watch as Mu Lianfeng was in danger. This feeling of powerlessness and frustration made Zhao Yun feel extremely uncomfortable. She was afraid that if she blinked again, Mu Lianfeng would become the white tiger's food. Don't eat him. Zhao Yun shouted at White Tiger, even though she knew that White Tiger couldn't understand human language. However, White Tiger ignored Zhao Yun. It opened its mouth wider and slowly lowered it, preparing to bite Mu Lianfeng. At this moment, Xiao Mao, who had been arranged to hide by Zhao Yun, suddenly rushed out and ran directly towards White Tiger. Xiao Mao arrived in front of White Tiger, lifted its hind legs, and directly kicked White Tiger's face. It happened to kick White Tiger's 2 eyes. An even more miserable cry was heard. White Tiger didn't care about Mu Lianfeng under it and directly jumped around in pain. Mu Lianfeng was fortunately released. Mu Lianfeng, how are you? Are you okay? Zhao Yun asked anxiously. I'm fine. Fortunately, there was Xiao Mao. If Xiao Mao hadn't rushed out in time, he would have really become White Tiger's food. It's good that you're fine. Zhao Yun's heart, which had been hanging in the air, finally breathed a sigh of relief. She really didn't dare to imagine what it would be like if Mu Lianfeng died in front of her. However, now was not the time to let down her guard. The danger was still ongoing. Zhao Yun supported herself with difficulty and crawled to Mu Lianfeng's side. The two of them supported each other and stood up. Chapter 1606. Mu Lianfeng originally wanted to use this opportunity to get rid of the white tiger, but he could not recover his strength immediately. In addition, the white tiger seemed to have sensed the danger coming from Mu Lianfeng, so it fled into the forest and disappeared in the blink of an eye. The forest was very deep, and it would be difficult to find anything that escaped into it. Moreover, Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng's current physical condition was not good at all, so they could only watch as the white tiger escaped. Although they did not catch the white tiger, it was fortunate that they were able to escape from the white tiger's hands today and did not lose their lives. As for how to deal with the white tiger next, they would have to think of a way later. They did not know what kind of species it was before, so their preparations were not complete. Many things were not done properly, so they naturally encountered danger when they acted rashly. If there was another chance next time, it would not be like this. They were afraid that there would not be another chance. The white tiger was injured this time, but it should not lose its life. There was a possibility that it would appear again next time. Because there were too many uncertainties, there was no way to guard against it. If they sent people into the forest to look for the tiger, this method was not very feasible. Mu Lianfeng's brows were inevitably dyed with some anxiety. Zhao Yun saw through Mu Lianfeng's thoughts and comforted him. Mu Lianfeng, we are already very lucky to be able to escape danger this time. Let's think about other things in the future. Yes. Mu Lianfeng nodded in response. His worries were useless. Instead of worrying, it was better to calm down and slowly think of a way. Wretch, after walking a few steps, Mu Lianfeng vomited the blood in his chest again. Zhao Yun saw this situation and immediately panicked. Sometimes, this kind of internal injury was more serious than external injury. Mu Lianfeng vomited blood, which meant that the injury was not light. Zhao Yun quickly supported Mu Lianfeng. I will help you to the tent to rest first. Let's go see a doctor tomorrow. Okay. Mu Lianfeng responded. Afraid that Zhao Yun would be worried, Mu Lianfeng said gently, Yun, don't worry, I will be fine. You don't have to worry too much about me. Zhao Yun sighed. Mu Lianfeng, you have to be well. For me and Daodu's sake, we haven't spent enough time together as a family. Mu Lianfeng held Zhao Yun's hand, but Yun, can you promise me one thing? Yun, if you encounter danger again in the future, you must not be like today. You must escape by yourself first, don't worry about me. Hearing Mu Lianfeng's words, Zhao Yun was a little angry. Mu Lianfeng, my life is your life. Is it not life? Daodu doesn't need me. Daodu also needs you. So next time, and the time after that, don't think about shouldering the burden alone no matter how dangerous or difficult it is. Whether we live or die together, we can discuss other requests, but don't mention this to me again. Mu Lianfeng glanced at Zhao Yun's stubborn little face. He felt helpless, but a sense of happiness welled up from the bottom of his heart. How lucky must he be to be able to obtain such a woman? God must have left the best for him. With Zhao Yun, he was willing to do anything. No matter how dangerous it was, he would definitely survive it. Yun, you are so good. You look so cute when you are angry. Chapter 1607. Mu Lianfeng could only reply with a smile. Okay. Yun, I was wrong. I should have listened to you seriously. I'll remember what you said. Zhao Yun's angry little face eased a little. It's good that you remember. Okay. Zhao Yun supported Mu Lianfeng into the tent. Mu Lianfeng rested for a while, and his condition gradually improved. However, she still had to call a doctor to treat him. It's all thanks to Xiao Mao this time. Zhao Yun sighed. Previously, when Xiao Mao followed her up the mountain, she was not happy. She never thought that Xiao Mao would be so capable that it could even deal with a white tiger. The white tiger's eyes were badly injured by Xiao Mao. The eyes were the most sensitive part of humans and animals. If the eyes were injured, they could not see and could not launch any attacks. Xiao Mao had done a good job this time. When they returned, they must reward Xiao Mao well. Zhao Yun only had a few scratches and minor external injuries. Her condition was not as serious as Mu Lianfeng's, so it was not a big deal. The two of them did not stay in the tent for long. When Mu Lianfeng could almost walk on his own, they returned to the foot of the mountain. After all, they were worried about Daodu and Tian. They were also afraid that if they did not return, Daodu would be worried. In addition, it was more or less inconvenient to stay in the tent. As for Xiao Mao, it followed behind Zhao Yun and went down the mountain. Zhao Yun glanced at Xiao Mao. She was shrewd and wondered if Xiao Mao was transformed from a spirit. Otherwise, how could a donkey be so powerful? Xiao Mao, you're so awesome. Your hooves are so powerful. When we get back, I'll make you braised pork. Zhao Yun said with a smile as she patted Xiao Mao's head. Xiao Mao replied proudly. The expression on its face was very interesting. Come, let's go back. When they returned to the foot of the mountain, it was already late at night. Zhao Yun'er went to the third branch. The third branch had already turned off the fire and was asleep. Knowing that Tian and Daodu were asleep, Zhao Yun'er returned to her small, shabby thatched hut. It wouldn't be good to wake the two children up now. He could just pick them up tomorrow morning. Mu Lianfeng had already washed up and laid down, waiting for Zhao Yun'er to come back so that they could sleep together. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er did not bring the two children back, he asked, Are Daodu and Tian not coming back to sleep tonight? Zhao Yun'er shook her head and said, I'm not coming back. My mother has already fallen asleep with them. It's not good to wake them up after bringing them back. Mu Lianfeng nodded and replied, I see. That's even better. Zhao Yun froze for a second, then frowned and asked, what do you mean by this is better? The smile on Mu Lianfeng's lips deepened, but he did not continue to explain. Mu Lianfeng did not say anything, but that did not mean that Zhao Yun'er would let him off so easily. Zhao Yun'er went forward and asked, Mu Lianfeng, say something. What do you mean by this is better? Look at your lewd smile. There must be something. Zhao Yun'er's words left him speechless. This was the first time he had heard someone call him lewd. Say it. What were you thinking just now? What do you mean by this is better? Zhao Yun'er questioned, her attitude tougher than before. Mu Lianfeng had no choice but to say, okay, I'll say it. That's a good boy. Zhao Yun'er's serious face was no longer as tense. Yun'er, come closer. I'll tell you. Mu Lianfeng said gently. Although Zhao Yun'er was a little confused, she still went over very cooperatively. Chapter 1608. Zhao Yun'er felt a huge body pressing down on her, and a fresh smell of fragrant grass rolled into her nose. This smell was the smell of Mu Lianfeng's body. The two people's eyes met, and their faces were suddenly very close. Zhao Yun'er's face suddenly turned red. She didn't expect Mu Lianfeng's sudden action. What are you going to do? Zhao Yun'er asked nervously. Although the two of them had been sleeping in the same bed these days, and there was a lot of time to sleep together, this was the first time Mu Lianfeng had done this. When the whole body pressed down on her, Zhao Yun'er felt that her body was stiff, and it became a little difficult to breathe. Mu Lianfeng, get off of me quickly. Seeing that Mu Lianfeng didn't speak, Zhao Yun'er urged again. Mu Lianfeng shook his head, indicating that he didn't agree. Pervert. Zhao Yun'er's face turned red, and she scolded in a low voice. She was curious why Mu Lianfeng said that it would be better if Daodu and Tian didn't come back. It turned out that he had this idea. The two children were not at home, so he could do anything to her unscrupulously. Men. Sure enough, they were all the same. No matter how serious they looked on the surface, they were actually a little perverted. No. Mu Lianfeng flatly refused, and he had no intention of moving away from Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er bit her lower lip angrily. This guy was playing rogue with her. Knowing that Mu Lianfeng was injured, and it was an internal injury, Zhao Yun'er didn't dare to resist. She was afraid that Mu Lianfeng would be hurt, but she was unwilling to let Mu Lianfeng like this. Could it be that she really wanted to let Mu Lianfeng take advantage of her? Mu Lianfeng. You. Stop fooling around. I'm not messing around. Mu Lianfeng bent down and stared at Zhao Yun'er below him. His gaze gradually became hot. And you said you weren't messing around. Yun'er, don't you like me? Zhao Yun'er was startled. What nonsense was this guy talking about? When did she say that she didn't like it? Mu Lianfeng saw that Zhao Yun'er did not speak. He knew that Zhao Yun'er liked him, and a satisfied smile appeared on his lips. Although his lips were on Zhao Yun'er's lips, Mu Lianfeng tossed and turned, as if he wanted to swallow Zhao Yun'er into his stomach. Zhao Yun'er resisted at first, but when she couldn't resist, she simply sank into it. She still rarely got intimate with Mu Lianfeng, because she was busy with too many things on a daily basis. In addition, the children were all in the same room. Even if Mu Lianfeng wanted to make a move on her, he had to consider the negative impact in front of the children. Now that Daodu and Tian were not here, Mu Lianfeng became unscrupulous. The two people's bodies became hotter and hotter. Mu Lianfeng reached out and wanted to untie Zhao Yun'er's clothes, but he was stopped by Zhao Yun'er. Yun'er. Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yun'er with a somewhat blurred gaze. No. You can't. Zhao Yun'er said with a red face. Yun'er, you are my wife. The emperor's imperial edict should be here soon. Mu Lianfeng's voice became softer, with a sense of charm. Zhao Yun'er felt that Mu Lianfeng was instigating her to commit a crime. Damn, when a man became gentle, a woman really couldn't stand it. Zhao Yun'er felt that her body was hot and wanted to vent. Of course, all of this was caused by Mu Lianfeng. Yun'er. Mu Lianfeng's tone was pleading, you're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.